And we're back. Thanks so much for joining me, folks. This is still Trooper Barry here with you. We're checking out the demo for Summer at the Edge of the Universe. This is a multi-route solarpunk yuri visual novel about intergalactic sightseeing and reconnecting. It is by Studio Elan. And I'll say it is part of the Love, Romance, and Heartbreak Debutante Ball on Steam. It is a, I think it runs, a Valentine's Day tie-in, obviously. I believe it runs until the 20th of February. And it's got a bunch of games revolving around romance and heartbreak. So I clued into this one because I saw Winter Heat from our friends at Yuri was listed in there, and then I just scrolling through as I am so wont to do, and I saw this one, and I thought it when I saw solarpunk in the description, I thought, I gotta give that a look. So let's do that. Let's check our settings here real quick like. Okay, that is all very fine. I approve of this font. Voice emphasis. I wonder what that is. We can probably up that just a touch, I think. This is... Oh! You actually have individual sliders for each voice. Oh, wow. I've never seen that before. That's nifty. All right. Well, now I'm definitely interested. And yeah, Brady B, I think I like the look of this art. Well, there's a little axolotl there, and we got a little heterochromia going here. It's a feature of quite a lot of Japanese visual novels, both 18 plus and not. Okay, well, I guess I haven't played those. Anyway, yeah, let's jump into the demo for Summer at the Edge of the Universe, and we'll see just how solarpunky we can get.
Hey there, Willowmere, and whoever else is listening. This is Summer and Anson, coming at you live from the Willowmere Community Center.
Oh, it's voiced. Oh, blessed be. My I don't have to rip up my throat.
You and I have got a little bit of sunshine left to enjoy. I've been running around setting up chairs and beds all day. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna sit down and get right into the music.
Yes, Brady B, a friend. Wink. Oh, not totally voiced. I hit play, then slide into my seat like a melted ice cream cone as the sounds of piano and guitar fade in. Sunlight streams in through the window, and I bask like a cat in the beams. Twilight, my favorite time of the day, comes to greet me personally. For the first time since this morning, I'm able to take a moment to relax and breathe. I haven't sat down for hours. I'm not used to having so much to do. Every day, there have been more and more tourists arriving in town, and they've all got to get set up somewhere. They've also got to get fed, get shown around, and tell me cool facts about wherever they're visiting from. It's mandatory. Sometimes I get lost in their stories. I could probably get a lot more done in a day if I wasn't always poking and prodding for more details. Yeah, Andrea, I spoke too soon about not speaking. Womp womp. Do the trees where you're from really reach all the way up to the sky? Do the rocks on your planet really squish underfoot when you walk on them? Is it true that the night sky is a different color every night? That's the stuff I want to know and hear about. The kind of stuff I've never got to see for myself. For every person like me who's never seen or done anything that memorable, it seems like there are 2 or 3 who have gone rock climbing in an asteroid belt or helped map out a new planet. Okay, I don't know who we are. Don't measure yourself by others. Just be the best you can be. 'Cause I know I've had those same thoughts. Like I was so down on myself, as seeing other people's adventures and like, why can't I do that? Why aren't I doing that? Chill. You're seeing other people's highlight reels and comparing them to your unedited footage. Don't do that. Anyway, after learning about some of these people's lives, I just have to hope they won't leave Florell disappointed next week. Since I've been one of the community center's volunteers for a while, I got put in charge of a whole welcome crew. Our main job has been setting up temporary housing for all the folks flying in, but I've ended up running a lot of other errands too. As exhausting as it's been, I don't know what I'll do when things go back to normal in a few days. I've gotten kind of used to falling asleep early and sleeping in late. Imagine. I'm sure my legs will appreciate it at least. With one song nearing its end, I flip through a list on my phone to pick up the next one. But before I can choose, there's a deep reverberation from nowhere that begins to rumble around the room. After the initial surprise wears off, I rest my head on my hands. Here we go again. I disconnect the microphone temporarily to avoid blaring any crazy feedback. The rumbling shifts, and loud music fills the air, pouring in from beyond the window. Plucked strings, a distant melody that doesn't exactly sound out of place in this universe. I press my headphones against my ears and turn up my music. It only lasts a few seconds before it fades away, and the shaking disappears with it. With a sigh, I go live again.
Sorry about that, if you heard it. Celestial noise. Same as every other day lately. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty over it.
Okay, so we are the titular summer, apparently. I guess we're at the edge of the universe?
At first, it was all cool and mysterious, but now it's just kinda annoying. Like, it's woken me up a few nights in a row. At least let me hear the whole song. Anyway, here's something a lot nicer to listen to. A live clip from Willowmere High's orchestra and choir last week. You'll be able to hear them at the CosCon soon too. Less than a week to go.
Stretching and yawning, I just stare out the window and enjoy the music. From up here, I get the best view of the city anyone can have. All the way to the edge of Willowmere and then beyond it, past the tiny dot that's my own house, through the fields and flowers and all the way to the distant smudge of Petal Streak. Lately, storm clouds have made even the usual sights a lot more foggy, but the sun has managed to win. For now. Even twilight fades away as the glow of the street lamps and buildings takes its place. There's a steady trickle of ships returning home for the evening, and a few taking off for somewhere. Before long, a kaleidoscope of colors blooms, the warm yellows of homes, mixing with all the crazy shades from the street signs and shops. I can identify a lot of them by shape or by shade. A crooked neon banner marks Willowmere's premier watering hole. A row of soft blue orbs light the creek trail. All the evenings I spent up here have instilled me with a complicated love for this town and planet. Affection mixed with some other kind of feeling. It's not nostalgia, and it's not melancholy, but it's definitely related to them both. A longing for something I don't even know. Could it be yearning? Yearning? In my Yuri visual novel? Watching ships go in and out, watching people's windows light up. There's a life and a story behind every one of them, isn't there? I wish there were still new things for me to see out that window. By the time my show comes to an end, 3 hours after I started, things have gone from bustling to empty. That's nothing new either. On the days I do my show, I'm usually the last to leave. community center is such a part of everyone's life that most people just call her Cece, like an old friend. Readers like me say her instead of it. Sometimes when I'm bored, I'll daydream about what I think she'd be like, as if she was an actual person. Imagine calling your community center Cece instead of something sensible like the bingo hall. Maybe I have a little too much time on my hands.
Good night, Willowmere.
Even if there's no one listening anymore, it always feels like I should say something before switching off the lights. I hum to myself as I get on the elevator. Some nights I'll take the stairs down. Tonight is definitely not one of them. Yuri one shot these pretty sure good, but the translation wasn't official and done with Google Translate. Ugh. Ugh. Unless that Yuri was originally written in Spanish or French, I don't think that's going to go well. Through the glass windows, I watch Cece's floors flow past. Besides the huge digital archive of everything everywhere ever written, it has a pretty big collection of real ink and paper books. It's one of the only ones in our local planetary system. Sometimes Mom stays here browsing until closing time. Also, a video game archive? Nice. Practice rooms for musicians, free history lectures, and even the skeleton of this giant Earth-based lizard monster. Gojira? Basically, it has whatever you could want. These floors look kind of lonely as I pass them by. Pretty much every light in the building is out. The elevator dings to a stop, and I step into a sitting area with plenty of plush chairs. During the day, every one of them is occupied. Maybe someone made a medical breakthrough here today, or put the finishing touches on a new masterpiece of literature. Maybe there's a pair of young lovers who settled on what planet to visit for their honeymoon. I pass through the lobby silently and step out into the cool night air. I've been inside long enough for some of the clouds to roll back in and threaten me with rain. Their scare tactics motivate me to muster up the energy to hurry home, or at least walk home a little faster than usual. I don't see many clouds up there, but okay. When I was younger, I used to think that puddles were portals to other worlds. Silly kid stuff, I know. But I jumped headfirst into a lot of puddles, hoping to see something new on the other side. Oh dear, that sounds painful. All I ever got, of course, were wet socks and 2 ticked-off moms when I got home. But that never stopped me from jumping. Wait, does that mean feet first? Because jumping headfirst into puddles sounds like it would, bust your head open rather than get your socks wet. Or maybe headfirst was metaphorical. I hope so, for Summer's sake. I miss that version of me sometimes. The younger, more naive Summer. Here I am, more than 10 years later, trying to avoid puddles on my walk home. Fireflies flicker, just like the city lights on the horizon. There's a chalk drawing on the park sidewalk that's been washed away by the rain. There's something about this time of year that makes me think of back then more than usual. I guess it's cliche since I'm named after it, but summer has always been my favorite season. Loser. Loser. Everyone knows fall is objectively the best season. It was a season for dreaming big and making plans for the breaks. Those plans never took my friends and me anywhere more exciting than a sleepover at each other's houses. But that was enough. And we always swore that someday we'd go on a real adventure together. Even though it's been 4 years since we all parted ways, I can't help but get a little wistful. You're what, in your early 20s at most? You're wistful, my ass. Even if you come from somewhere without seasons, fair. Thank you for the backup, Brady B. And yeah, I know the pain when it comes to Singapore's seasons. It's a question of how hot and wet is it going to be? And even here, they're more of a joke than usual. Like, you know, it was yesterday, Lunar New Year Eve. You know what it was here? 26 degrees. Like 2 days after Valentine's Day, day before Lunar New Year's, 26 heckin' degrees. Goodness. Hot, rainy, hot and rainy. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's Singapore, by God. Nowadays, it's the season for seeing groups of kids come to visit Cece just like we used to, and being on the other side of the reception desk. The walk home only takes 20 minutes or so. I cross the bridge outside her house and quietly enter the front door. All the lights are off, including in Mom and Ma's room, so they must be both asleep already. I kick off my shoes at the door and head upstairs silently, being careful to step over the squeaky fourth stair. Okay, so we have experience with sneaking. Being 26 units happy is not more than 28. I mean, that is fair. But I just feel like 26 in February, that feels a little excessive. Give me teens until March, okay? I'll give just March, okay? Give me November, December, January, February. Give me 10 to mid-teens just for 1/3 of the year, please. Sneaking in like this is a bit nostalgic itself. The main difference is that this time, I'm not trying to avoid getting caught. I just don't want to disturb my parents. Before I head up to my room, I shut off the lights in the greenhouse. Ma always keeps it on for me when I stay out late. That's actually a nice little greenhouse. Rooftop greenhouse, very smart. And look at the little citrus tree there, it's lovely.
Good night.
If I say it to the empty radio room, it's only fair I say it to the plants too, right? Exactly. In my bedroom, I start to get ready for bed, but before I climb in, I go take one last look out my window. If I'm lucky, I'll get another full night's sleep tonight, one without an earful of noise from another universe shocking me awake. If there's one thing I didn't get from my moms, it's their ability to fall right back asleep. Oh God, imagine. When it first started a few weeks ago, I thought the otherworldly sounds were going to be the beginning of something extraordinary. It didn't take long for it to become something just plain old ordinary. Despite the clouds, something up in the sky catches my eye. A tiny little light streaks across the horizon. A shooting star. The legend that wishing upon a star would make your wish come true is one I stopped believing in a long time ago. But still, don't you diss Jiminy Cricket like that. When you wish.
I wish.
It couldn't hurt, right?
I wish something good would happen.
Okay, that's vague. Summer, we're going to need to work on specific, achievable goals, okay? For you and the universe.
I'm not too picky about what. Just something bigger than me. I could really use some kind of sign. That I won't be like this forever. Because that's what it feels like lately.
I don't even know what to wish for exactly. I hope that whoever's out there, listening to wishes, can figure out what I mean.
I wish I knew how to change.
Okay, Summer, just like New York hot dog vendors, change comes from within. The light starts to get a little bit bigger and brighter, and I realize it's not a shooting star at all. It's just a ship coming into land. Its headlights streak overhead before it lands downtown somewhere. I sigh, and that turns into a yawn. Shutting off the light at last, I climb into bed and try to get cozy. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Maybe wishes can come true without a star anyway. Well, you don't know who was on that ship. The next morning, I go downstairs to a house that has already woken up without me. So we slept in. The window's open, a breeze rustling through the curtains. It brings the smell of wildflowers into the kitchen, along with the earthy smell of my parents' garden. In the corner of the living room, a pile of camping gear that I had to dodge around in the dark last night has grown. A new lantern, as well as the matching blankets that Mom loves, has been tucked under the tents. My parents themselves are nowhere in sight, but there is a cup of coffee with my name on it. Literally, my name is on the mug. That was a Ma holiday project a few years ago. I take a seat at the counter where the screen is on and set to the local news. I half listen as I stir some of Mom's homemade vanilla syrup into the coffee and stare out the window. You get to leave an alert? No worries, Brady B. Appreciate you hanging out. You requested a review on this one. Not sure on the story yet, but the music and aesthetics you're down with. Reviewed. Okay. Brady B, you got it. What I might do, I might post it, I might post something on both my Discord. I might put a link to this on Jung's as well. You know, not that she's short on games, but I think another Yuri visual novel might be up her alley. But yeah, have a good lurk, and we'll catch you next time.
That's right, Ted. It's looking like another gray day in Willamere. And of course, there's one question that's on everyone's mind. Is this rain going to be gone by next week? We've caught up with a couple of off-worlders who are visiting Florel for the first time in order to catch the cosmic concurrence that's supposed to happen. Only problem is, they're not sure if they're going to be able to see it.
Cosmic concurrence? The camera shifts to focus on a pair standing close by.
Hey, I know them.
Well, kinda. Their silver skin and second pair of eyes stick out in my memory, at least. I don't remember their names, but I met them a couple days ago when they first arrived on our planet. I helped them find their way to the temp lodge where they're staying, in one of the wings of City Hall. They talked to the reporter for a bit about how they came all the way from another star system and decided to visit for a few days and make it a whole vacation. When we met, they asked me for recs on what to do or see while they're in town. I pointed out all my favorite places to get a snack, or folks whose goods are worth checking out, and spots like the swimming docks or CC. But that's about as exciting as it gets here on Florel. Florel? I'm not sure how I'm supposed to handle the accent aigu. I hope their trip ends up being worth it in the end. After I finish breakfast, I clean up the kitchen and then myself, taking a quick shower and getting dressed for the day. I'll be helping out at the school again this afternoon, but I made sure to keep my morning free. As I grab my coat and get ready to go, I notice a basket with a note by my door. Ma and I went out to make some deliveries. This one is for Olitha. Don't eat them all yourself. Olitha? Okay, Olitha. I about said Olathe, but no, that's in Kansas. I take a peek into the basket, spotting a bunch of cherry tomatoes. I pluck one for myself and head out the door. The note just said don't eat all of them, not to not eat any. So we're a rules lawyer in addition. Mom and Ma have a pretty huge garden out in the backyard. Plus there's the greenhouse upstairs. I guess this... Since we always have a ton of fruit and vegetables and flowers, way more than our family of 3 can eat or admire, we give them away at a local market every week, and drop things off at people's homes directly. Okay, this world is bright and verdant, and we just give shit away. It really is solarpunk, isn't it? Sometimes folks have special requests, like off-world spices or medicinal plants, and my parents will do their best to grow them. One of the chores I hated most growing up was watering all the plants in the greenhouse. It seemed so pointless since there are a million different machines that could have done it for us. It took me a while to realize that was the whole point. I don't mind it as much now. In fact, it's kind of rewarding to watch the little sprouts grow under my care. Even though I felt kind of mopey going to bed last night, today is a new day. There's a few patches of blue sky, even with clouds still covering most of it. A few ships pass by overhead, probably on their way to Pedal Streak. I got my pilot's license a few years ago, but I haven't flown since then. Anytime we go camping, my parents and I always take the train as close as we can. We don't have a personal ship. Hardly anyone in Willowmere does. Trains mentioned! Yeah! Today, if I wanted to, I could take one of the local shuttle lines into town and get dropped off close to Oletha's place. I don't mind walking, though, especially when it's nice out. It's not that I dislike Florel or anything. I like it a lot, actually. Its famous fields of flowers and flowing rivers always cheer me up when I'm down. I really am glad to live in a place this beautiful. What bugs me is that it's all I've ever known and seen. What bugs me even more is that I know a lot of that is my own fault. It's not hard to go off-world. Almost anyone can do it. There are dozens of passenger ships that take off from Pedal Streak every day. Cece watches over me from not too far away. You can see her from just about anywhere in Willowmere. In fact, I don't know of anywhere in town that you can't see her. Solar panels. I come to a stop at a set of railway tracks, which make a sort of boundary between the outskirts of town, where we live, and the town itself. Behind me is a wide field dotted with flowers. Ahead of me, the buildings are much taller and closer together than the scattered houses like mine. Yeah, that is kind of a New York brownstone kind of look, but with ample solar panels, of course. To protect Florel's environment, mining for natural resources is super limited. Instead, we import a lot of ores and minerals from the nearby Stana asteroid belt or other traders. That means we make most buildings out of simple materials, compared to some other higher tech planets. It gives town like Willowmere a laid-back atmosphere that lots of visitors lately have been calling quaint. Could be complimentary. Could not be. Who knows? Making my way down the familiar streets, I greet the people passing by with a smile or wave. It's the first day in a while that's sunny enough to dry clothes on the balcony, or toss a ball back and forth. I mean, you can toss a ball back and forth in any kind of weather. For the record. Finally, I reach Oletha's building and take the elevator up to her floor, and then knock. The door opens just a second later, courtesy of a small robot. They must have been waiting for me.
Summer, come on in, honey. How have you been?
Morning.
I lean down to give her a hug.
I've been good. I've missed you. Can't believe it's been a week.
You're telling me. Here I am, counting down the days on my calendar.
Oh, stop.
We head into the living room and I sit down, holding out the gift I've been carrying.
These are for you, from Mom and Ma with love.
I gave her the basket of cherry tomatoes that Ma picked for her.
Oh, thank you. And thank your mothers for me.
She hovers over it, looking for the perfect tomato, doesn't exist, and pops one into her mouth.
You can tell they're fresh off the vine. Nobody grows a better garden than your parents, huh?
Yeah, they're pretty incredible.
I sprawl out in the living room on a comfy chair, while Oletha rolls to the kitchen, putting the tomatoes away.
Tea, honey?
Both, please.
Both? Oh, tea and tea with honey. One of our traditional jokes. Ah, I got it. A moment later, Edgy comes back out with a steaming teapot that she must also have had waiting for me. Olivia makes her own blends, sometimes using fruit and spices we give her, and they're always delicious. This one has a deep rosy color and smells like one of Ma's orchards. I take a sip, and it's both sweet and tangy.
This is good. New flavor?
Mm-hmm. Finished it this morning. You think it's a winner?
It's barbecue sauce. I take another sip.
Maybe it's a little too sweet?
Mm-hmm. I was thinking that too. Well, it'll be back to the kitchen this afternoon until I get it right.
Okay, it'll be American barbecue sauce.
You entering one of Mr. Maza's contests again?
Of course. I can't lose 2 years in a row. My pride won't let me.
Her hands are a bit shaky as she sets the teapot down on the table. It's been hard noticing how that happens to her more and more often lately. The little robot zooms over to assist. I've been coming by since I was a teenager. At first, getting to know Olivia was just a homework assignment, but we ended up getting along so well that I just never stopped visiting. Sometimes she feels like my third mother, or maybe my fourth grandmother.
So, you still busy getting ready for the who saw what's it?
For the... Oh, the CosCon?
Right, that's the one. The name slipped my mind for a bit.
Wish that could be me. Yeah, it's been the center of my life for like a month now. And basically everyone else's. Even my mom's. Like, you wouldn't even think we're going on our camping trip next month. Most years, it's all they'll be thinking about for months ahead. But they still haven't even figured out what to pack. A lot of people are coming from off-world to see it. Me and the rest of Cece's helpers have been setting them up with places to stay while they're here. And my parents are helping with all the cooking.
I'm assuming we're going to find out eventually what the cosmic concurrence is.
You don't sound all that excited about it yourself.
I'm just not getting my hopes up, that's all. It's still Florel, after all. I know better.
Okay, Florel. Thank you.
Spoken like a true jaded old grump.
Hey now! Nobody knows what to expect. Even the scientists who calculated that it's gonna happen. All they know is that in 4 days, our universe is going to slide past another one.
Wait, universe? Not the solar system, not the galaxy. The universe is going to slide past another one. So we know that we know there are other universes. Okay, that's a twist.
There was this whole thing on TV explaining how they figured it out, but once they started using math with the letters in it, I stopped paying attention.
Oh, come on.
When the sky started making all that noise, I let myself get excited. But if the cosmic concurrence itself is going to be that disappointing too, then I'll just be glad when it's over.
Is it really that bad? I still haven't heard a peep from the sky myself. Maybe there's some silver lining to not hearing so good anymore.
You're really not missing much. Music and sound from another universe. Even saying it like that makes it sound cooler than it is. Maybe if it was more than a few seconds at a time and didn't wake me up every night.
Chuckling, Olivia takes a contented sip of tea and smacks her lips. Then she sets it aside and looks at me with a knowing smile.
So, I take it you're not even gonna go see it then?
I'm still gonna watch, of course, as long as there's anything to watch. Speaking of which, you're totally gonna see it with me, right?
Oh, it sounds like it'll be well past my bedtime. I'll watch it on TV if I'm awake. Besides, you've got better things to do than to be spending all your time with an old fogey like me.
Uh-huh. Like what?
You should be telling me that. Your youth isn't gonna come around a second time, you know.
I know. I'm just figuring stuff out still. Besides, what would you do without me, huh?
I suppose I'd have to find someone else to try my tea. Now tell me why I feel like I've heard that one before.
Yeah, it does sound like Summer has a lot of self-limiting beliefs. I groan and press a pillow against my face.
Probably because I've been saying that for a few years now, right? There's just one thing holding me back, and her name is Summer.
Okay, so Olitha has also figured this out.
You really telling me that there's at least 2 universes out there, and you still can't find one thing that gets you excited?
Ouch. It sounds a lot worse when you put it that way. I don't know. I don't know what I am.
First you know, now you don't know. Which is it?
I'm still trying to figure that out too.
Kicking my legs up in the air, I roll myself into a sitting position.
I know I've been saying the same thing for forever now, but nothing I've tried really grabs me. You've seen me try drawing, bird watching, now dancing.
Acting.
Oh no, don't remind me, but yeah, acting too. See what I mean?
Man, if only there were... Too bad there's only 5 things you can do with your life.
You've got your show though. I know I'm not the only one who listens to it every week.
I guess so, but that's just me talking about myself and playing music that I like. You can get both of those anytime you want, you know? Like right now.
I pretend I'm in the radio room, talking into the mic.
Coming at you live from Olitha's house, this is Summer's Pity Party, where everyone's invited. I'm your host, Summer Nansen, and today you're gonna hear me complain about the same stuff I always do.
Olitha grins.
It's my favorite radio program.
Leaving her mug next to mine, Olitha wheels herself over to one of the windows. She also likes to watch the world go by, just like I do. It's one of the things we first bonded over, way back when.
You know, I've had a pretty good life myself. Been to a lot of places, seen my fair share of the stars. After I met William, we zipped around all over this galaxy and that. But before that, I was just like you, waiting for adventure to find me instead of going out and finding it myself. I spent years dreaming about what-ifs instead of making them happen. Once I got myself out there and saw more of what I was missing, I felt pretty silly for not doing it sooner. I don't think there's anyone who gets to be my age today and looks back wishing they'd done less. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with taking things slow and just letting life happen to you. But before you know it, you'll be an old woman staring out the window, and then you'll wish you'd really lived instead of just existed.
Right. Every Yuri visual novel character dies, but not every Yuri visual novel character truly lives. I get it from my spot and go give Olitha another big hug. I have to be careful not to squeeze too tight, feeling her bony frame in my arms. Sometimes it's easy to forget she's as old as she is, with the way she always keeps busy. But even in the few years I've known her, I've watched her slow down. The reason I convinced her to get a robot to help her out was because there are more and more things she's not able to do by herself. She's one of those people who doesn't like having stuff done for her. Still, I'm glad there's someone to help her out when I'm not around, since she doesn't have any family left. She pats me on the shoulder as I sit back down.
Don't waste your youth, honey. That's all I'm trying to say.
I don't want to. I just need to figure out what it is that makes me happy. At least I know plenty of things that it's not.
You're still dancing, though?
Technically. But it's not something I'm really into, I guess. It just kills some time and helps me keep healthy.
Well, you know I'll be here to hear about it when you decide on what you're doing next.
I know. You always are.
The morning passes quickly and into the afternoon, until it's time for me to head out. Usually I'd go to Cece, but today I'm headed straight for my old school. That means a quick walk to the closest train station. Oh, we got some wind turbines as well as solar panels. Lovely. I assume there's some geothermal power outside of town. I managed to snag my favorite seat by the window, but I don't pay much attention to the view as it whizzes past. Instead, I'm busy thinking about Olitha's words. Wasting my youth, huh? Yeah, it's not the first time she's mentioned it, but today it hits a little bit differently. I can't help but feel stuck, like I'm running in place. How are you supposed to find yourself if you don't know what you're looking for? The first few raindrops start to fall as we reach the station, and I disembark.
Figures.
Pulling my coat tighter around myself, I head towards the high school. Squelching through the mud, I hurry as fast as I can. The station gets me pretty close, but I still have to cross the field and most of the campus to get to the school's entrance.
Should have brought an umbrella.
I think I forget mine more than I remember it. A few other folks are milling about, and a stranger holds the main door for me as I go inside. There's a hot coffee station near the front, which is my first stop. Close by, there are also some rags and rugs to clean up, and a rack for me to leave my coat. Then I head for the office, which is where we set up our base of command. When I started coming here a few weeks ago for prep work, it was the first time I'd come back to the school since my friends and I graduated nearly 5 years ago. Okay, yeah, so nearly 5. So if we're going off the American calendar, we're like 23 at most. Walking through those doors as an adult was a surreal feeling. Not that long ago, I was here every day. Now I'm an outsider, someone who doesn't belong anymore. I don't mind that too much. Who wants to go back to high school anyway? But it does make me miss some of the people. 3 of them in particular. Although, it's not like I ever stopped missing them. When we all walked out of school for the last time, I thought that was just the beginning of our time together. Hanna, Quinn, Izzy. We'd been friends for over half our lives at that point. It just made sense that the freedom of adulthood was where things would really start. I sure wasn't expecting that to fall apart less than a year later. If you told me that we'd eventually go for 4 years and counting without speaking, there's no way I would have believed it. And yet, here we are. Deciding to clear my head, I focus on the task list in front of me. Everyone else is working hard, so I can't slack off either.
Let's see. Pretty much what I expected.
The list of tasks isn't long, but each of them is going to take me a while. I have to set up the seating for one of the viewing rooms, figure out the display situation, and then put together the menu and ingredient list for my moms. Both of them were super excited to be helping out. Unlike me, they loved the idea of coming back here. They say it brings back nice memories for them too, although they're way different from my own. Mom's from Florell, but not Willowmere, and Mom's from a different planet, so neither of them spent as much time here as I did. All they have are memories of my school events and parent-teacher conferences. In other words, the parts I barely remember myself. I get it though. I'm sure I'll be the same way if I ever have kids of my own someday.
Alright, first up, chair time.
The main auditorium's already been set up, but we're expecting to have more people than they can fit in there, so we've put together a few overflow rooms too. All the desks and usual school stuff have been cleared out, so I need to set up temporary chairs for people to use. I find a cart full of them and take it back to the first room I'm assigned to. The ceiling's already decorated with tie-dyed cotton, and there's a hand-painted welcome sign taped up to one wall, speckled in toddler finger paint. Little by little, things are coming together. I can't deny how satisfying it is to see. Going room to room, I unload and unfold so many chairs, it almost becomes its own dance routine. There's a rhythm to it all that I keep up, just to entertain myself. Even this takes me back in its own way. Normally, Izzy'd be all over this kind of job. Dummy work, she'd call it, aka something even a dummy like her can do. I managed to get things done on my own anyway. 4 rooms and an uncountable number of seats later, I'm finally finished. On other planets, people don't do stuff like this by hand. It's pretty much unheard of. There are robots who could do what I just did in half the time and with way fewer snack breaks. Here on Florell, though, people just like doing things the old-fashioned way, even if that makes it the hard way too. Once I'm rested up, it's on to my next task, making sure the displays are all set up for viewing. For that, I'll need to go to the tech lab. I can still automatically follow the path, the time spent away no match for the years I spent here. But as I'm passing through yet another empty hallway, I spot something unexpected. Eh? Just up ahead, seemingly frozen in place, is a kid with their back to me. I can see their head turning, trying to decide which direction to go. They're probably here with one of their parents, and we're kind of deep in the depths of the school, so it's easy to get lost. I put on a big smile. Pretty used to handling children.
Hey there. Are you okay?
At the sound of my voice, they turn around, but I can instantly see it's not a kid. It's a robot.
Greetings. All within my perception appears to be okay. However, I am presently lost.
Sounds like you're not totally okay then.
The little robot peers up at me, and an inquisitive look on its pixelated face. It reminds me a little bit of these research robots I've heard about, except better dressed.
Is that so? My friend says that being lost is simply an opportunity to discover someplace new. So, I am feeling very fulfilled right now.
To demonstrate just how fulfilled, the robot displays a little meter on its screen as filling up. The charging bar reaches the end and then overflows, playing a little jingle. It's cute, and I can't help but laugh. Most of the robots I've met are like Olithas, helpful but impersonal. This one even waves its arms in celebration, and I notice it's carrying a book.
Wow, you weren't joking.
No, I'm still learning about jokes. However, I'm hoping to incorporate this functionality soon. I will pursue that endeavor at a different time. Currently, I need to locate the library.
Oh, I should have guessed. Well, you're in luck because I'm going that way too. Just follow me.
Thank you. Your assistance is most appreciated.
No prob. We're not too far away.
Instead of walking, the robot lifts up off the ground and hovers alongside me.
So, what's that book you're reading?
I am not the one who read it. I'm returning this on behalf of my friend. I volunteered to make the journey in order to experience a new environment.
It holds the book so I can see it.
Oh, I know that one. A friend of mine read it a long time ago.
I recognize the cover. It has a picture of the three main characters on the front, all sitting at a table together. One of them has ears, like a fox. Quinn checked that book out back in our last year of school. I remember seeing them carry it around, but I never heard whether they liked it or not. For all I know, they never even finished reading. The robot, I notice, is very careful with the book, even when it's waving it around. Maybe it's used to transporting delicate specimens. After a couple more twists and turns, we arrive at the library, which is right next to the tech lab I was headed for.
Ta-da! You can just drop it in the box, right here. Need any help?
No, I would prefer to accomplish this task on my own.
Floating up to reach the spot, the robot deposits the book and then plays another victory song.
Congrats! You did it!
Yes, I did. Thank you for assisting in finding this place. You were integral to the completion of my mission.
Aw, don't mention it. Happy to help.
I am afraid I cannot honor your request. I will be making a mention of this encounter to my friend. However, I am sure they will also be pleased to hear my report.
Okay. I guess we can make a one-time exception then. But don't go mentioning it to anyone else.
Affirmative. I'll be leaving now. Goodbye.
Bye!
The little robot happily buzzes off down the halls, going back the way we came.
I hope it doesn't get lost.
Now that I think about it, maybe I should have offered to show it the way. Well, it's a robot. I'm sure it'll figure it out. Using the key code I was given, I unlock the tech lab and make sure everything's properly set up. Compared to getting all those chairs ready, this is easy. There are a bunch of different live feeds from around town that I check off and approve, and also do a test run of the 3D viewing space. Some folks will want to mingle and just watch the main live feed, which is what we have broadcasting in the auditorium. But for people who want a more immersive experience, one of the science labs has been suited up with a simulation room that'll make it seem like you're actually outside. Wait, can you not just be outside? Hanna and I used to do something similar for fun. They're designed for kids to be able to get a hands-on look at what they're reading about during class. We would spend our free periods exploring what kind of weird options were available. Stuff like strange animal skeletons or gemstones from other planets. I sit down and sign in. Doesn't seem like the software's changed at all since I last used it. I won't be the one running things on the actual night of the concurrence, so I just need to prep things for whoever will be. Checking it all over is simple, but takes a while, especially when I keep getting distracted by other feeds from around the planet. For a people watcher like me, sitting here is almost too much power. Still, even in a focused rush, it takes a better part of an hour before I'm finally satisfied enough to say I am finished.
Alright, almost done. Let's do this.
Psyching myself up and stretching my fingers, I lock up the lab and head to my final destination, the cafeteria. I find a variety of ingredients waiting for me. Pasta and veggies and other stuff too. I take inventory of it all, organizing some stuff like our kitchen at home. This will be my mom's base of operations that night, and I won't be surprised if I end up here too. They both love to cook for a crowd, since it gives them a chance to show off. We've got the menus along with a list of orders for the attendees at home, so we'll use the list I make here to figure out what we need to bring from the garden. I wander through the coolers and pantries, jotting down everything onto a notepad as I go. I take a picture of the list, send that to both my moms, and then stuff it in my coat pocket. I'm finally done for the day. I don't have long to even think about heading home, though, because the moment I go back to the front of the school, someone flags me over to ask for help with a task of their own. I end up running around for another hour, doing essentially more of the same stuff I'd been assigned. By the time I'm finally free, I'm good and exhausted. Afternoon sunshine is pouring in through the windows, rather than the rain that had been pouring when I got here. When I head outside, it's downright comfy again, just like this morning. It makes for a nice walk to the station and a smooth train ride back home, where I flop down onto the couch as soon as I reach it. It's been another long day, and I'm glad to be flat on my back instead of sitting or standing. But also, the end of these long days is in sight. Before I know it, things will go back to the same old routine. I'm sure that's not foreshadowing. Am I ready for that? I really don't know. I don't mean to fall asleep, but the next thing I know, I'm waking up with a blanket draped over me and a pillow stuffed under my head that wasn't there before. The lights have been turned off other than the lamp in the living room with me, but the night is just beginning. Although the stars are out, it's closer to dinner time than bedtime. Yawning, I toss off the blanket and roll to my feet, heading into the kitchen to make myself some tea. After mulling over my choices, I pick a fruity blend Aletha gave me a few visits ago. While it's steeping, one of the doors to the outside opens and Ma strolls in.
Oh, hey, you're up.
Yep. Good morning.
Peeking out the window, she makes a face.
You might be off by a few hours on that one.
It's morning time somewhere out there.
What they have you doing up at the school? Mom and I came back and found you conked out on the couch.
Oh, they needed someone big and strong like me to set up a bunch of chairs and computers.
Well, you woke up just in time, because Mom and I got the stuff to make some butter cookies.
Ooh, butter cookies. Grabbing my mug, I bounce away from the counter to clear a space.
Don't let me slow you down.
You still gotta wait a bit. Mom's out in the garden now grabbing stuff from your grocery list.
I'm on my way already.
My parents' butter cookies are famous neighborhood-wide. The sooner they get started baking, the sooner I can start eating them. I pop out the door that Ma just came through, spotting Mom already on her way in, so I hold it open for her. Wait, we're going through the garden? In that dress? Wow. She smiles gratefully, turning to avoid hitting me with the box full of produce she's carrying.
Is that everything?
I think so. We'll pull the peppers and onions next week so they're fresh. What else was on your list?
Let me see.
I reach for the note that I shoved into the pocket of my coat. Wait. No way. No way! I left my coat at school. But didn't you send them pictures of the list? I left my coat at school. I was so distracted by the nice weather when I left, I forgot all about the bad weather when I got there. classic summer blunder.
Ugh, or not. I forgot my jacket up there.
I have the list on my phone, but I'll need my jacket itself for tomorrow. It's clear out right now, but there's no telling when the rain will come back. I already know what I'm going to have to do, even as I try to think of an alternative. When with a free hand, Mom pats me on the shoulder. She knows too.
Guess I'm heading out.
There should be cookies by the time you get back, at least.
That does make it a bit better. Be home soon.
Kicking my shoes on by the door, I step out into the young night. Oh, change of scenery here. Willowmere at this time is a lot different than Willowmere during the day. There's hardly any nightlife, or places to hang out late. That's why I'm usually the last one out of CC when I do my evening shows. With the open skies, we get a ton of natural starlight, which sustains a lot of the planet. Overhead, Florel's twin moons have begun to rise. Nighttime brings a whole bunch of planets to life that are dormant during the day. Shimmering moon blooms glow at my feet, lighting the path with their bell-shaped buds. By the time I get home, even more will have lit up. The cool air feels lovely. So instead of heading for the station and waiting for a train, I decide to jog to school. Besides, I got plenty of energy to burn. Starting off slow, I hurry down well-tended dirt paths, crossing empty roads illuminated by street lamps. Some houses have already gone dark, while others have their windows lit up. Just like arranging the chairs earlier, I find a rhythm for my footsteps to follow, a beat I can run to. Maintaining my form is a game I can play against myself. I'm sweating by the time I get to the city park that used to be one of my friends' and my favorite hangout spots. It's about halfway between my house and school, and also about halfway from the station that Hanna and Izzy would use to get home. I spent my hours of my life sitting on those swings or under those trees. Now, I just run right past them. Across the river and out to the park, the rest of the way from here to the school is covered in hills. Soft, gently sloping ones for the most part, but still enough to make me gradually slow to a walk. My breathing is heavy as I start the final ascent, the school building itself looming in the darkness ahead. Just ahead, I spot the first other person I've seen since leaving my house. One of the bright overhead lights at the edge of campus is shining down, giving me a clear view of a surprisingly familiar face. It's a little robot I saw earlier today. It waves when it notices me, rising up into the air.
Greetings. You have returned. That is most unexpected.
Same to you. I forgot my coat, so I'm back to get it. What about you?
This time, I'm accompanying my friend. They are presently at the school. I have chosen to remain out here so far. The local plant species here are quite fascinating. However, I would like to join them. May I accompany you?
Sure thing. I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Summer Nansen.
Usually, I wouldn't be so chatty with a robot, but this clearly isn't a normal one. It reminds me a lot more of a person than the machines that cleared the floors and windows at CC. Plus, it's already our second meeting. I can hear the sound of a fan spinning in the robot's body as it processes that.
That is quite the coincidence. My friend knows someone on this planet who is named Summer Nansen.
What a coinky-dink!
My name is Curiosity. I'm very pleased to meet you, Summer Nansen.
Okay, Curiosity. You wouldn't have any relatives named, Opportunity, would you?
Just Summer is fine. And... wait, who's your friend?
The name that they have chosen is Quinn.
It plays a small, celebratory jingle. Jerking to a halt, I rub my ears, certain I must have misheard, or that I'm more tired than I thought.
Sorry, one more time?
The name that they have chosen is Quinn.
I may not be the machine here, but I feel like I'm short-circuiting. Like I fell asleep and am in a dream, because there's no possible way this robot is referring to the same Quinn I'm thinking of.
Quinn... son?
Yes, that is their full name.
No middle name?
Oh.
Quinn Sun. aka formerly one of my closest friends. The fact that this robot knows them is both a total shock and at the same time such a Quinn thing that I'm not surprised at all. Curiosity hovers, still looking at me, probably waiting for some kind of response. Problem is, I'm not sure how to respond.
You're saying Quinn is just up ahead at the school?
I don't really know which answer I want to hear.
Unless they have left me behind, then yes, they are.
Well, that's a scary thought. I don't dwell on it. I don't want to tempt fate. I choose my words carefully, afraid to mess this up.
Can you take me to see them?
I can. Follow me.
Curiosity doesn't seem to share my hesitation at all. The little robot turns and floats off into the darkness, leaving me standing there by myself. I'd kind of expected it to say no. Now that it's leaving, I find myself rooted in place. What'll I even say? What if they don't want to see me? Wouldn't they have come and found me if they did? There's 100 reasons why this might be a bad idea. But still, there's way more reasons why it might not be. Besides, I wanted something to change, something to happen. A chance like this is better than I could actually hope for. Plus, I want to see them. I stare off into the distance at the quickly disappearing robot. It doesn't seem to be waiting if I actually follow it or not. Quinn. I can't think of them without also thinking about Izzy and Hanna. We were inseparable in high school. It felt like we could do anything together. And then after school finished, we just drifted apart. Hanna went off to school on another planet like she'd been dreaming of for years. Izzy stuck around for a while, but I don't know what's happened to her in the last couple of years. As for Quinn, well, they chose to leave the planet. Last time I saw them, they were sleeping on the floor at my house. Or at least they had been. I woke up to them standing in the doorway. I asked when they were coming back, and they said they weren't. Sure enough, I never heard from them again. As far as I know, none of us did. Out of the three of them, Quinn is the last one I would have expected to run into like this. So it's pretty safe to say I have no idea how to feel right now. But as I stand there, Oletha's words from earlier echo in my head. Nobody looks back and wishes they'd done less.
All right. Well, can't say I didn't try.
I hurry to catch Curiosity before it gets out of sight. The robot chatters on, not even noticing I was gone. I doubt it has the functionality to detect an awkward silence. That probably comes in handy around Quinn.
With Quinn's help, I have been coming to learn about the tendencies and habits of humans. For instance, did you know that human beings can express at least 3 different emotions?
Citation needed there, pal. I laughed loudly despite my nerves, before quickly catching myself.
Only 3?
As if there was any doubt, we're definitely talking about the same Quinn.
At least 3. How many can you think of? Which ones am I lacking?
Let's see. Happy, sad, angry, excited, lonely, jealous? That's 6 so far.
6! You have doubled my knowledge already. Thank you very much. I can see why Quinn called you their friend.
They said that? They called me their friend?
Yes. They have referred to you as their dear friend previously.
Okay. I almost stumble in surprise again. But this time, instead of being hit by a brick, it's like a weight is lifted off my chest.
They still think of me that way?
Biting my lip to keep from smiling too much, I start walking again, faster this time. Curiosity easily matches my speed and even outpaces me. Overhead, the starry sky twinkles, as if it's aware how momentous a night this is, one that is vast and full of promise.
You walk much faster than Quinn. This is fun. I cannot believe humans do not walk at high speeds everywhere.
We reach the top of the hill, the silhouette of the school in the darkness just across the field. Curiosity gestures in front of us.
Oh, it is just ahead. The place we said we would meet.
They said they'd be here, but I know all too well that doesn't necessarily mean they will. Before I can finish my next thought, curiosity beeps out a joyful 5-note melody and darts forward. Little thrusters emerge from its feet, giving it an extra boost of speed. I wish I could do that. I duck ahead too, triggering one of the motion-activated lights. It shines brightly, illuminating the person I was waiting to see. Standing alone in the middle of the sidewalk, hand outstretched to the Russian robot. Quinn. They have the smallest of smiles on their face as they greet the playful machine. At first, the sight of them jolts me to a stop. This is real. This is actually happening. Somehow, I manage to find my own thrusters and put on a burst of speed. As I careen towards them, I call out,
Quinn!
They glance up as I stumble, barely keeping balance by flailing my arms. I skid to a halt right in front of them, hands on my knees.
You're really here.
That wasn't what I wanted to say, but any thoughts of a coherent sentence went out the door the moment I actually opened my mouth. In a way, it's almost like Quinn never left. All the familiar feelings of warmth, friendship, and familiarity fill my chest. Quinn just stands there, staring at me like they've been expecting me to show up. They don't seem fazed at all. Then I noticed the way their hand is twitching, like they were hit by the same invisible force field I was when I saw them.
Summer.
Oh, they are phased.
Hi, Summer. You're here too.
Their hair, shaggy as always, is cut way shorter now. It looks like they never hit their growth spurt either, despite telling all of us so many times that they'd hit it someday. The sweater they're wearing is new, at least to me, but it's the same classic Quinn style. Oversized to the point where it makes them look shapeless. And the way they're standing, that awkward stance that somehow shows they don't know if they should stay or leave.
Yeah, I ran into curiosity, and it told me about you. What have you... Where have you...
In just a few seconds of staring at each other, my heart feels a million things. Part of me wants to ask why they never called, or wrote, or anything. It's been 5 years of silence. But a bigger part of me doesn't care. All those feelings that should mix together into something confusing actually result in something simple. Finally straightening to face them at eye level, I just smile. The same way I would when they'd walk through the classroom door, or we'd meet up on weekends.
You're back. I missed you.
Finally, they smile too.
Yeah, I missed you too.
I glance around us. I worry if I just turn around, they'll disappear.
Are you staying?
Quinn avoids my eyes for a moment before shrugging.
We were just leaving. I just wanted to come by and see the school, but it's busy during the day.
Oh, yeah. We're using the school as a place for people to watch the cosmic concurrence next week. That's this big thing that's happening.
Quinn nods.
Yeah, that's why I'm on Florel.
We will be going to another planet after its conclusion.
I look at the robot by Quinn's side. Its eyes show pure delight. Is that pure delight? It looks like a semicolon. I can tell from both their body language that the two of them are important to each other. Leave it to Quinn to have picked up an android for a best friend after they left us.
Oh, I see.
The two of us look at each other. I have to imagine the same thing is on both our minds. Say the word, Summer. Just say it.
I'd really love it if we could catch up before you go. It doesn't have to be long. It can be wherever, whenever. I'm pretty much free all the time.
There's so much I could say, want to say. But how much is too much? To me, running into Quinn like this is a wish come true. A miracle. A second chance. I'm afraid for them to know how desperate I am. They swallow and turn away, and my heart skips a beat. Curiosity peers up at Quinn.
Sorry.
Their soft voice barely carries over their own shoulder. Curiosity peers up at Quinn, the robot's expression changing to match its name.
To be honest, this is difficult for me.
I bite my lip, clench my fist, hold my breath. Anything to stop the shaking.
I thought about coming to see you, but...
Silence. But what? I try to read the silence that follows their words. But they decided they didn't want to? Or was it something more like me? Maybe they just didn't know how to. I think about what it is that I want. What I really want to happen right now. How I want things to be again. I briskly walk over, getting more into Quinn's personal space than most people are allowed to. Reaching towards them, I see their already wide eyes getting wider. Taking the strings of their hoodie in one hand, I give them a good yank, just like I used to whenever Quinn was being emo. They flinch, either out of habit or genuine surprise.
Well, I came and saw you first instead.
It seems to throw them back on track. Blushing, they still manage to laugh.
Yeah. I'm glad you did.
I'm so relieved that I guessed right.
I'm busy tonight, but I'm not tomorrow.
All right. Tomorrow, then.
Okay. See you then.
Promise?
I offer out my pinky finger. They consider for a moment before wrapping their own finger around mine.
Promise.
Whoa, I've witnessed a new ritual. Today has been one of the most exciting days of my life.
Not now, Curiosity.
Well, that's what happens when summer's around.
They're looking down at Curiosity with a smile. They're close enough for me to pull them into a surprise hug, as that one sentence makes me feel better than anything in the past year. Although I can feel them stiffen at first, it only takes a second before Quinn relaxes and hugs me back. For just a moment, I feel like nothing has changed, like we're 16 again and saying goodbye after school.
See you soon.
My voice is barely a whisper.
Yeah. Take care.
I slowly untangle myself from Quinn and step away. I'm sure that in the bright lights from the school, the tears in my eyes are obvious. That's okay, though. I want them to see how much this means to me. Curiosity takes Quinn's hand and then waves to me with the other one.
Goodbye. It was nice to encounter you a second time. I'm looking forward to our third.
Me too. And the next one, and the one after that.
That would be the fifth one.
Yeah, that one too.
With a gentle tug, Quinn leads Curiosity back towards the edge of campus and wherever it is they're staying. I stay at the top of the hill, waving until they're out of sight. For all I know, this could turn out to be the last time I ever see Quinn. I want the moment to last as long as possible. Wiping my eyes, I turn around and head to the front of the school, unlocking the door and slipping inside. My coat is right where I left it, of course, and I retrieve it and head back out within a minute. It's not too cold, so I wrap my coat around my waist instead of carrying
Thanks
it.
for staying behind here. You really helped me out.
We'll leave out the fact that I'm the one who forgot it in the first place, not that my jacket chose to stay. Still, if it weren't for that, I'd be lying on my couch or my bed, wishing that a night like this would happen. It's the start of something. I don't know what, but I'm determined not to let this opportunity fizzle out after tonight, or after the next time we meet. By all rights, I should be exhausted, and in a way I am, but also, I don't remember ever feeling more hyped up and energized than I do right now. I start to run, taking the steeper path down from school. It's hard to explain the feeling of momentum. It's sort of like I could go forever, and stopping is unthinkable. I'm filled with a desperate urge, no, a need to do something, to not let this energy and excitement end. Down the grassy slopes and gray sidewalks, I run until I reach the park. There, just as I arrive, I feel the first few tremors of a familiar shaking. The music consists of a distant strumming. there's a sound like swirling wind, accompanied by a voice singing along. I come to a stop, looking up at the stars where the sound is coming from. Even though there's nothing to see, the celestial noise captivates me like it hasn't since the first time I heard it. Whoever they are, I don't think they're singing words, just sounds. And yet I can hear what they're feeling. The joy in their voice is clear, even across the boundaries of universes. Closing my eyes, I take a second, just to let myself experience. Instead of getting annoyed how it doesn't go anywhere, I try to listen and enjoy the music for the short time it'll be there. Whatever it is that's making them sing like that, it'd be nice to feel that way too. Of course, just a few seconds later, it all comes to an end. The near silence of the night crawls back in. As stillness comes over me, I let it shape the excitement I was feeling into action. Slowly, I pull out my phone, taking a seat on one of the swings. I open my inbox, glancing through the names at the top. My parents, my supervisor, Olathe, other volunteers. I have to scroll and scroll until I finally find the names I'm looking for. Hanna, Izzy. Always the four of us. Running into Quinn like I did already seems too good to be true. So the idea of reaching out to the others as well, that just feels like pushing my luck. But hey, maybe it's time I push myself again. Mustering my confidence, I tap onto Hanna's name and open our long-dead conversation history. I force myself not to look at whatever our last few messages said. I don't want to know or remember right now. Instead, I focus on writing something new. Hey Hanna, it's Summer. I pause. Should I add my last name? No, she'll know. I know this is out of nowhere, but I was hoping maybe I could see you if you're on Florel anytime soon. Part of me is tempted to just spill my guts out, telling her all about how I regretted the way we drifted out of touch. But I know better than to do that. It's easy to overwhelm Hanna, especially when she's not expecting something. So I just keep my message brief. I miss you. Is it too much to say that? Maybe. Maybe not. I won't let it stop me. Before I can lose my nerve, I send the message. Then I copy it over and send something similar to Izzy. Then I feel like throwing my phone as far away from myself as possible to avoid staring at it constantly for the next however long until they respond. Instead, I make the much more rational decision of returning my phone to my pocket and resuming my journey home. Several times I check it, certain I felt the buzz of a response. But each time it's just my imagination. Ooh, phantom phone syndrome. You hate to see it. It's kind of late, and I'm sure it'll be a shock to both of them whenever they see it. So as much as I can, I try to be patient.
Okay, Summer. You can do this.
I went 4 years without speaking to them. I'm sure I can handle another few hours of it.
I'm home.
I kick off my shoes, leaving them near the growing pile of hiking boots, and follow the scent of butter cookies towards the living room.
Hey, Sunshine. We were wondering what happened to you.
Summer, come eat these before we finish them all ourselves. Ma came close.
You've got Mom to thank. I was ready to make you wait for the next batch.
I've had all kinds of good luck tonight.
Leaning in, I steal a cookie from Ma's plate. For the first time, I realize my cheeks are sore from smiling.
I have good news.
I take a big bite while I grin at them, letting crumbs fall from my face.
Oh, do share.
Don't keep us in suspense over here.
Not sure I want to tell someone who is ready to let me go without cookies like that.
Ugh, Summer.
Mean. Mom leans forward, right over Ma's lap, and lowers her voice.
I'll keep it a secret.
I look over at Ma, who's maintaining a steady expression, looking at her fingernails and pretending not to care. Just then, the timer starts to ring from the kitchen. Ma looks back from there, where the next batch is ready to be taken out, and back to Mom and me. I can see the pained look in her eyes.
I take bribes.
I'll let you release the ladybugs tomorrow morning.
Deal! I was gonna tell both of you anyway.
What a dirty trick! Who raised you?
Mom throws her hands up and leans back into her chair, smiling even in her mock indignance. Ma shakes her head as she goes and slides the tray out of the oven, bringing each of us a hot, fresh cookie on our way back. Keeping things a secret together is fun to bribe Ma with sometimes, but, well, I really want to tell both of them. I open my mouth to talk, and then my mind goes blank. Completely. The air conditioner gets quieter as both Mom and Ma look at me expectantly, like even it's waiting to hear what I have to say. I'm aware of how my hair sticks to my neck and shoulders with sweat, and how my hands shake a little from the exertion. Just from the exertion, I clench them into fists and try again, but
Summer, are you all right?
Mom places a hand on my knee. I shake my head, nodding, and I feel a hot tear roll down my cheek from the movement.
Oh, no. Oh, why? Why am I crying? I'm happy. I promise. It's good news.
I'll go get you a water.
Mom stays behind and rubs my back. Within only a moment, I feel the water bottle pressed into my hands. I flip open the top and sip, focusing on the taste of mint and cucumber. Deep breath.
Better?
Yeah. Better.
One more sip, just for good measure. I hold it tightly on my lap and look down towards it, trying to find the words again.
I saw Quinn. They were at the high school.
That opens the floodgates. The one I was looking for, not more out of nowhere crying. It's not a long story, but I find myself caught up in the details. Leaving my jacket behind, the little robot, the odd way it spoke and floated about unlike any robot I've really ever seen, seeing Quinn, worrying the whole time about what I was saying, if they were happy to see me, the relief of the hug we shared, the promise of seeing each other again tomorrow.
I don't know what we're gonna even do together. I don't even know if I should plan anything or just show up.
Mom must have a slow sigh, her brows knitting together in the same way they do when a plant is struggling in the greenhouse, or a recipe turns out wrong. It doesn't happen often.
It's not that serious.
Huh? Mom's face relaxes, and she meets my gaze with a soft smile. Behind her, Ma grimaces.
I think she's trying to say that Quinn is your friend, right? Don't overthink it.
Exactly. You were happy to see each other. It'll all work out.
Mom tends to simplify her thoughts as much as possible, often leading to situations like this. Ma's relentless optimism and simplicity balances out with Ma's groundedness and, well, overthinking. Ma really underestimates how much I get from her.
You're thinking too big about what to do and what to say. Just start small. Like, how do you feel about it? One word.
Nervous, excited, or sort of nervous and maybe a little excited, but not like too much. I'm no math magician. I'm pretty sure that's not just one word. But the whole almost 90 minutes I've been doing this demo, the vibe has all been optimism. That's what solarpunk is, right? Granted, you're feeling stuck, not necessarily so much, but I mean, the world around is like bright and colorful and human. It feels in keeping to say excited. I try to take in everything. Of course I'm nervous, but I ran all the way here. My heart feels full to bursting with hope that it's all going to turn out okay. I feel a small smile crossing my face again at that. The anxiety and unease that overwhelmed me a moment ago melts as I focus on that feeling.
Excited. Like, this could be the start of something, you know? I know things won't be perfect. I just really want to do my best, though.
That's good to hear, Summer. To be honest, you scared me a bit earlier. I'm glad your nerves are coming from a good place. Well, not good entirely, but just,
I think she understands, sweetie.
I do. Thanks, Mom.
I'm sure whatever you two end up doing won't matter once you start talking. There's a lot to catch up on, right?
Sure is. They've been out seeing the galaxy with a robot. I'm sure there's something there to talk about.
that's my girl.
Our conversation drifts into another slightly related topics about how Hanna must be finishing up her semester now, and how exciting that must be, about how Izzy's family recently helped fix a major outage after the storms, and how we should prepare a gift basket for them sometime. It's a little embarrassing, but by the end of the night, I find myself thinking about how much I love my parents. Something as simple as taking a minute to think, this is really exciting, easily gets lost in my worries and anxieties. They've always been good about grounding me. In the metaphorical sense, I hope. Tomorrow, I'm going to see Quinn. I'm going to put my best foot forward, and then my next foot forward, over and over again. I take that spark of excitement and hold it close until I eventually drift off to sleep. I can't make tomorrow go well, but I can hope for the best. After a night of sleep, I'll be ready. I have to be. I promised that I would follow this new beginning. I owe it to myself to do just that. The rich earthy smell of soil permeates the entire greenhouse. The humidity sticks to my skin like a familiar summer afternoon, despite it still being dark outside. For the first time in a long, long time, I woke up before my alarm. Not early enough to beat my mom's, who were both inside and awake. They've always been early risers. The persistent buzz of anticipation for the coming day kept me from sleeping in. There's so many questions I want to ask Quinn when I see them, and so many more I wonder if I even should. Plus, there's the lingering nerves that came from messaging the other two. The first thing I did when I opened my eyes this morning was to check for a response, but there wasn't any. Not from either of them. At least the ladybugs are waiting for me. They've got a date with the cucumber plants, and it's up to me to play matchmaker.
Good luck today, ladies. Knock 'em dead.
Early morning, right after the garden is watered, is the ideal time for letting ladybugs out. They're more likely to stick around, instead of flying away and leaving you behind. I spread open the mesh net they're carried in, trying to coax them out onto the leaves.
Come on. I know it's scary, but you gotta get out there.
It's not like I'm really asking the girls to deal with something as scary as romance. I'm just taking them out to dinner. Our exceptionally rainy season has led to a lot of pests, so the ladybugs will help deal with them. I shake the bag, and a handful of them tumble out, quickly righting themselves as they land. I reach in, letting a few crawl onto my arm. Then I lean in closer, parking them right beside their destination.
Look, VIP service.
They slowly start to make their way over onto the plants. Some instantly take wing, flying to other parts of the garden. As long as they stay in the area, that's good enough for me.
Alright, now for the next group.
I make my way slowly around the area, repeating what I just did, over and over. The sun starts to rise and I take my time, grounding myself within the moment. The cold stone under my bare feet, the tickling of ladybugs crawling up my arm. The pause helps me feel like I can face the day. After I finish releasing all the bugs, I wander around the greenhouse like a moth, moving from lamp to lamp. While I'm pacing, the door slides open and Ma pokes her head in.
Some. You ever coming downstairs?
Soon. Why?
There's pancakes and a surprise.
What's the surprise?
It wouldn't be a surprise if I told you. Now, get your butt down there.
I do like the little, just having them lean in halfway. Ma shuts the door again, leaving me on my own. I don't even know what the surprise could be. This must be Ma's way of getting back at me for threatening to keep a secret from her before. I had decided to wash my hands thoroughly. I already took a cold shower this morning, so I'm ready to go. I follow the scent of warm syrup down the stairs toward the kitchen.
Such an appetite.
You're gonna choke if you don't slow down a little. No one's gonna steal them, you know.
But they're super tasty! Plus the chef is super pretty too.
Ah, brother. What does that have to do with anything?
I freeze, dead in my tracks, certain that I didn't actually just hear the voice I thought I heard.
Still quite the charmer, huh? Well, it's a good thing the chef prepared extra today. Help yourself.
Hell yeah! Thanks! I will...
For the love of... Drink your milk, Lancaster.
Lancaster?
I whisper the name back to myself. It comes out in hushed disbelief. So then, I fly around the corner and catch her right as she's about to cram an entire pancake into her mouth. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Izzy?
The pancake dangles off the head of her fork, and the determined look on her eyes fades. Her face goes totally blank. For long, excruciating seconds, we stare at each other, neither knowing what to do, how to react. Oh gosh, it's awkward. It's already awkward. I just burst in here like a maniac, screaming her name. If there was an official list of things you shouldn't do after not seeing someone for years, I'm certain this would be at the top of it.
Hey, Summer?
Leaping to her feet, her tall legs knock her chair to the floor. By the time I realize what's happening, she's already charging straight for me, arms spread wide.
Summer!
I brace myself for a tackle and hug, but Izzy goes one step beyond and scoops me off my feet, twirling me around and around. I dig my nails into her denim jacket and hold on as tight as I can. Emotions rise and fall faster than I can process them. Everything comes out as one loud squeal. We bump into cupboards. We flail against counters, and even though I almost send the bowl of pancake batter flying, I see my mom smiling. Izzy finally sets me down, holding my shoulders firmly in place so I can find my balance. Even when I do, I still feel dizzy. My head is swimming with so many questions.
I can't. What? When? Why? How?
I got your text, man. Figured I'd hop over and answer in person. Revive the old tradition of bugging you at the crack of dawn.
And I was just thinking maybe Mimi and I could have a nice, quiet morning together.
Breakfast with Izzy before school weren't uncommon. In fact, it was weirder if she wasn't here. If she didn't sleep over the night before, then she was almost always here in time to wake me up.
You're not bugging me. You've never bugged me.
Her smile slips, and so does her grip on me. But right when I start to worry really hard that I said something weird, she pulls me in tighter and smirks.
Good.
I rest my forehead on her shoulder. It's toned and hard. The texture of her jacket brushes against my skin, and the cinnamon tinge of her cologne is so strong it burns the hair of my nose. But that's all Izzy. Decisively Izzy. It all melts together to signal that she's here, and that's what matters. Mom gives an exaggerated stretch and a yawn.
Well, I think a nice walk would make it a perfect morning.
She prods Ma with an elbow.
You're right. Let me just put my shoes on and we can head out.
Wow, real subtle.
Whatever could you mean?
I just laugh. I do appreciate my parents giving us some alone time to catch up. Ma waves from the other room, linking arms with Mom. With her free hand, she wags a finger at Izzy.
Lancaster,
Sup?
don't break anything.
You've got my word, Mrs. N. I won't break anything I can't fix.
I don't remember there being a qualifier on that statement, but sure.
At least I know you're good for it.
It was nice seeing you again, sweetie. And let your parents know we said thank you for all their hard work getting the power back on during that nasty storm.
Count on it.
Oh, and expect a gift basket soon.
All right, let's get out of their hair now.
Mom sprinkles us a wave as they disappear around the corner. The door shuts and the wind chimes on the porch, sing their gentle song. Alone in the quiet of the kitchen, I just look at her, taking in all the details.
What? Something on my face?
Probably pancake.
Actually, yeah.
Across the bridge of her nose and cheeks are glittering specks of purple and blue, looking like something between confetti and freckles.
It's looking pretty colorful.
She rubs her nose.
Yeah, that's what happens with dark energy. Got him on my arms, too.
With a flex, her biceps bulge under her sleeve. She gestures a few times, so I give it a quick squeeze. Solid.
Still working the farm, huh?
Of course I am. What else would I be getting up to?
Trouble?
Well, that just goes without saying.
Besides me, Izzy was the only one of us to stick around and stay on Florel after graduation. We bumped into each other occasionally in town, but never with more than a word or two of greeting. It's been a while since the last time, though.
To be honest, I figured you joined the Peace Rangers by now.
Izzy winces at my words. She deflates like a balloon, losing all its hot air.
Oh, yeah, well, you know, life.
Breaking out of my hug with a shrug, she leans against the counter, staring up at the ceiling fan as it spins in circles.
I think I've mostly given up on that at this point.
What?
It ain't that weird, is it?
Kinda. Yeah, you've always talked about joining, as soon as you had the chance.
Even the last time we really talked, that was her goal. Her dream. As far back as middle school, when she and I first met. There was an ongoing tectonic crisis happening on some far-off planet, and the Peace Rangers were in charge of rescue and restoration. We talked about it some in class, but Izzy was obsessed, reading extra videos and articles on her own time. It was the only occasion that I can remember her being really excited in school. When the crisis was finally declared over, I remember watching the announcement with Izzy. Just watch some. One of these days, I'm going to be up there doing that. So hearing that she's just given up makes me fear the worst.
What happened? Oh, my stars. Did something happen to one of your parents? Izzy, I swear if one of your parents died and you didn't tell me, I'm going to cry right here, right now.
Whoa, nothing happened. All 7 of them are doing great. Mama's even got another one on the way.
Hello, Goofy. Good to see you. Welcome in. I wondered where you were, but I think you were probably out there doing school-related things, weren't you? And I do prefer you put your studies first, as do your parents, I'm sure.
Another one?
Yeah, there's like 20 of us now. It's getting real stupid.
Oh, wow.
I back away towards the table and sit down, finally starting on my own breakfast. The syrup has gotten cold again, but I don't mind that. I like it better that way.
That's so many.
I mean, she had a lot of brothers and sisters when I was around, but not 20. Oofta, yeah. You have class this afternoon? Okay, but you're done. Okay, good. You're done now. Well, then make sure to have yourself a nice lunch.
Believe me, I know. This'll probably be the last one, though.
Is that what's kept you around then? Taking care of everyone and helping out on the farm?
Kinda. It's more like I don't have to think about anything. Do my work during the day, get wasted afterwards, then wake up and do it all again. It's easier this way.
I can't believe it.
Right? We go through a crap ton of food. Every meal is like a buffet.
Having watched her just eat half her body weight in pancakes, I know how hard it can be to feed just one Lancaster.
Well, that too, but not what I meant. I mean you.
Everyone's gotta grow up at some point, right?
I just frown in response. I don't want to seem like I'm judging her or anything. It's just that so much as hearing the words "I've given up" goes against everything I know about Izzy. In some ways, being stuck here where we grew up, I can relate. But at least she had something else to fall back on with her family's DE farm. DE? Ah, as one of the few dark energy providers in our solar region, they've always got orders to fill, so I'm sure she's keeping busy at least. Just like me, always busy without doing much. With a shake of her head, Izzy gets back on track.
Ah, enough about my boring life. What's going on with your boring life?
I giggle. It's like she read my mind. I quickly cram the rest of my meal into my mouth, then add my plate to the already impressive stack.
Help me with the dishes while I tell you?
She shoves one more pancake into her mouth, then rolls up her sleeves.
I scrub, you load.
You already ate lunch? Okay. Well then... have a nice dinner, then? I ramble on for a while about the past few days and my recent work for Cece. At the same time, we work together to deal with the dishes, which also include last night's cookie-making bowls. Like always, the two of us make a pretty efficient team. At least first. Izzy starts to go faster and faster, the slippery ceramic coming dangerously close to falling out of her hands more than once.
Hey, maybe don't...
Ole! Shards of ceramic whiz past my face as Izzy left just holding a soapy sponge.
You need to stop scrubbing so hard.
But the gunk, it doesn't want to come off.
She bends down and picks up some of the larger pieces of broken plate.
You know what? I'm just gonna take these home, glue them back together.
That's really not...
No, I promised her. I've got a moral obligation to make good on it now.
She's changed in some ways, but Izzy has still managed to hold on to her convictions.
Okay, well, we can deal with that later. For now, how about you do the loading instead?
She glances at me, then the dishwasher.
No! I've got to prove I can do this now, too!
And her stubbornness. I grab her shoulders and gently rotate us until our spots have been reversed.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
It doesn't take long to get back into the swing of it. Soon enough, my shriveled hands are passing along a freshly rinsed plate every couple minutes. Izzy stacks them on top of each other in the dishwasher, creating one big pile instead of rows. At least she's trying. I gently correct the mistake, trying to make it obvious what I'm doing.
So, you haven't heard back from Hanna's yet, huh?
Nope. I'm trying not to think about it too much. I hope she just hasn't seen it or something. Not that she's ignoring me.
It's Hanna's. She'd never shirk off a message from you.
How can you be so sure?
She snorts as I hand her the next plate.
Trust me, I'm sure. If it makes you feel any better, she always answers my texts.
You two still text? More than just birthday messages?
Even I've got a few of those at least. Yes, Goofy, year of the haunts.
Sure. Every once in a while.
What does she say?
Izzy, go to bed. You're drunk.
I'm not sure if that counts or not, but either way, why does she drunk text Hanna, not me? I want drunk text from my friends. Do you though, Summer? Do you?
My point is, don't worry too much about it. She probably just doesn't have any service right now or something. But if I know Hanna's, she'll get back to you ASAP.
I hope so.
Now, Quinn is a whole other thing. The fact that you even managed to bump into them at all is wild.
Izzy grabs the next plate before I even let go of it, then locks eyes with me. She holds one side and I hold the other.
You don't think they would have gone off-world again without saying hi to us, do you?
It's a fair question, but not one I would have expected. Or maybe just one I didn't want to think about.
They promised not to, but I am a little worried.
Did just kind of ghost.
Yeah.
If there were ever a good time to do it, I guess it would have been after what happened.
Yeah.
I finally let go of the plate. Izzy's hand falls back to her side as she gazes out the window.
I never stopped.
Huh? Stopped what?
Hoping, I mean. I always believed I'd see them again, you know? Even if it was when we were old and wrinkly. Sometimes I'd even daydream about it. All of you guys, really.
She tries to play it off with a chuckle, but her tense shoulders and sharp breaths give away how difficult talking about this is for her. Izzy has never had a filter. The delay between the words in her head and the words coming out of her mouth has been non-existent as far back as I can remember.
All those years of the four of us being so tight and always being together. Then it just stopped. Isn't that crazy?
I nod. I know exactly what she means, of course. Even after Hanna and Quinn left, Izzy and I still tried to hang out a couple times, but somehow it just didn't work. It was like Izzy couldn't look me in the eye anymore. I thought maybe I just needed to give her some space. A little while apart to bandage over the lingering awkwardness. But without me realizing it, a little while turned into a long time, and life moved on.
I couldn't believe it either. Especially not when we were still so close by. I've just been here this whole time.
What is a Hans? A Hans is a Hans, of cons of cons.
I know you are.
If we've both been feeling like this, then I wish we would have just said so sooner. All that time we could have spent differently.
I was going to. Tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. Then tomorrow would come and I just... freeze.
The dishes have long since been abandoned. Sitting back down at the counter, I put my hand on her arm.
I get you. Me too. I kept thinking that I just didn't do enough. That maybe if I'd tried harder, things would have been different.
Yeah, man. That was the problem. You were the one who worked so freaking hard on Quinn's party. And when I went and messed things up, you were the one I let down.
The way she says it, the way her face falls, suddenly I understand something.
Izzy, you don't think what happened was your fault, right?
Come on, Sum. Don't act like you don't. I saw how pissed you were that day.
That wasn't... Of course I was upset. It wasn't anyone's fault. It was just us being dumb kids. Dumb kids who let this go on too long.
Yeah, well, I definitely didn't help things. And since then, it's like time has been standing still. Like I've been running in place. You ever feel that way?
We're having a serious talk, but it's hard not to crack a smile. Look at her. Getting so worked up over nearly the exact same thing as me. All these years, and the exact same worries and anxieties were swimming around in her head too. Right across town.
Yeah, I do.
More than you know.
Well, I'm sick of it. I want to move on with my life. I want to do things.
She turns around, tears welling up in her eyes. And through the frustration and hurt, she still manages to flash me a big grin.
And I guess what I really want is to just see my friends again.
Me too.
Pulling her into a tight hug, I try to squeeze out all the bad feelings. The two of us hang out for a while longer, until it's time for me to get ready to meet up with Quinn. In a lot of ways, the two of us have had similar arcs since last we saw each other. We both just fell into the easiest life path, sticking with what we've been doing since we were young. I feel bad for thinking it, but it's kind of comforting to know that I'm not alone in that regard. As surprised as I was to find out she's still around, I can totally understand her reasons. Before Izzy leaves, we solemnly pledge to see each other again soon. Whether it's here, the Lancaster compound, or somewhere else entirely. I see her off with a wave, which she returns it until she's out of sight. Heart feeling full, I turn around to shut the door behind me, only to find my parents waiting for me in the kitchen. They're crowded around the dining table like gossiping girls in the cafeteria.
So, how'd it go?
Oh, well, you know.
Don't make me break out the ladybugs again, girl.
Alright, it went really good. Turns out Izzy never left Laurel either. She told me all about her parents and siblings. She's got another one on the way.
Another parent or another sibling?
Sibling this time. Izzy was talking about how crazy it is over there with so many of them around.
20 is a lot.
Stars, I'm getting a headache just thinking about it. We had our hands full just with you.
They have more people to help watch over the little ones, though.
Still, it was busy enough the last few times I went there. Can't imagine what it's like now.
You'll just have to go see it for yourself.
Yeah, I might. She would have stayed longer, but I had to go get ready to see Quinn. Wait, I need to go get ready to see Quinn!
My one brain cell activating, I dart past my folks, rushing up the stairs. Everything has been happening so fast these past couple days, I feel like I can barely keep up. Despite my best of sleep, I'm not really tired, just a little overwhelmed. I wouldn't have it any other way, though. Once I'm all set, I give both my moms a goodbye hug and kiss on the cheek, and then I'm out the door. Quinn and I agreed to meet here on the main street of Willowmere. While it's not exactly a meeting place like CC or the high school might be, it's familiar to both of us. Way back in middle school, Quinn and I would meet here to walk to school together. It's right between my place and one of the apartment buildings Quinn's folks lived in at the time, before they got too old for the stairs and switched to a bungalow. I'm a bit early. A bit on purpose, and a bit because I'm hoping to find something to inspire me. Standing in the shade of a nearby storefront, I flip through the collection of travel pamphlets they set on a table. See the stars, explore the cosmos, your dream vacation awaits. The pages are decorated top to bottom with photos, testimonials, and information on each flight. And thank you for the Oxford comma. Some are a weekend trip, others last an entire month. There's even options for a mixer ship, letting all lonely singles ages 25 and over mingle among the heavenly bodies. And the planets, too. It's not quite what I was looking for in terms of good conversation starters, but I guess it's better than my original idea of asking what movie their life is most like. Should I take a look at the Archipelago Star Vacation, Halfway Moon, or finish looking... Oh, I think we can do both. The most colorful trip seems to be something called the Archipelago Star Vacation. The ship will take you off to a tiny cluster of planets to something called the Reef Galaxy. From there, it's a guided tour through a few orbiting planets. Each planet has a different gravity, sky color, and native life. The big pull seems to be that you can explore freely, as the life there is accustomed to people, so there's none of the typical dangers of wandering into an unfamiliar land. Okay, one thing I am noticing, when we're in this block here, the last letter and period, they don't appear to load all the way. Just a little thing, though. They even have a strong conservation effort program, so any donations to the organization in charge of the trips goes toward keeping the planets safe and thriving. After losing a moon to a meteor shower hundreds of years ago, it needs a lot of help just to manage all the different weather patterns. Something tells me Quinn isn't much of a tourist. They regularly skipped out on school field trips in high school, often they were boring and rigid. I don't know if they had much to say about this. Still, I saved the page regardless. While it's not exactly made from scratch, a ton of planetary engineers have written some anecdotes about the place, so maybe Hanna would find it interesting. I guess we'll check out Halfway Moon? Look over a place called Halfway Moon, a rock no bigger than the size of Pedal Streak, where you can walk in one direction and end up right back where you were by the end of the day, where the sun shines all day and every inch of it is developed land. I feel it's probably nothing like what Quinn does on the day-to-day, but maybe they've been somewhere like that. Definitely not as party rock as this place boasts being. Oh hey, it has underground bunkers to sleep in that are soundproof to the concerts and excitement above. That's pretty nice. And a fully decked out coffee bar. The theme for next year is being voted on between a classical rock concert and a more varied indie festival of the ages. I think that sounds pretty good to me, and they have a website to watch the whole thing online too. I dog-eared that page to show Izzy later. Alright, I think we're good. I pull my backpack around to tuck the pamphlet into one of the pockets. I don't know if I found anything useful, but maybe it'll give me something to work with. I glance at a clock hanging on the top of the building. They should be here by now.
You are early.
Curiosity!
The small robot is right up to my face, hovering with a low whir of whatever fans or engines keep it aloft. His face changes to an emote of confusion.
Or is it me who is late? A predicament.
No, you're not late. Where's Quinn?
Oh, they're on their way. They send their apologies.
Oh.
Did they lose their nerve? I suppose they wouldn't send their robot if that was the case, but the idea they just might not show up isn't really a far-fetched one. Curiosity offers no more response than that, instead opting to take in the surroundings. The street itself doesn't seem very interesting to me, but its eyes light up each time it turns to face a new building.
What a magnificent planet. The trees grow in your buildings.
I guess it's pretty common nowadays, though, isn't it?
Curiosity doesn't reply, instead floating up a bit higher. When its eyes lock on the turbines in the distance, it bobs up and down.
Wind power! How exciting! It is one of the many green energy sources humans employ.
It is, yeah. There's solar panels on the rooftops, too. And all the bigger facilities are connected through a massive dark energy grid.
There's something incredibly endearing about how it moves and speaks, reminding me of the younger groups of kids I teach at CC from time to time. Even though Curiosity nods along to the other stuff, it seems fixated on the turbines. There's no possible way it hasn't seen one of them before, right? From what Ma tells me, the wind-powered infrastructure is at the core of Florel's design. I don't know exactly how many planets were made in its generation, but it certainly wasn't a small amount. Most planets added wind turbines decades after, even if it wasn't their whole thing like it is here. I cross my arms, glancing around. Well, there's no sign of Quinn yet.
What sort of places do you usually visit? You and Quinn, I mean.
Maybe this would be a good chance to get some talking points.
Oh, would you like to read a record of our exploits as of Backup 8126, Gemini Sol 2, Sol Lunae?
Yes?
Its face immediately changes to one of a loading screen. I stand across from him. The whirring in his body grows louder, and the looping icon on his face slows with each passing moment. It's not gonna crash, is it? I might be here for a while.
Maximum limit reached!
For the second time since it arrived, I jump out of my skin and out of my head, forced back into the present.
Stars. Maximum limit for what? What does that mean?
There is a lot of data to parse. You must create a restore point in the ship and print it there. I apologize for the inconvenience. I would be happy to read aloud to you the summarized report on the hourly atmospheric readings.
Oh, no thanks. Actually, I didn't mean that. I meant more like...
I guess I'll try to condense my question into something more personal and immediate.
Why did you go to the last planet you went to? There's lots of places out in the universe, right? I'm sure there's something that called you to it.
Oh, my understanding was flawed. You were asking for something I cannot answer.
Oh, really?
Yes. Quinn does not choose the planets. We find them. Or, as Quinn says, they find us.
How perfectly, Quinn.
I see. So, you don't really see places like Florel often?
Correct. Florel is the only planet I have seen with other people on it.
What? The only one?
Correct. Florel is the only planet I have seen with other people on it.
No, I mean, you don't see people?
Incorrect. We cross paths with other travelers on space stations such as OPS, S-H, and the ISSL.
The Yissel.
An error in speech has been detected. I will adjust to emphasize planet from now on. Florel is the only planet I have...
That makes a lot more sense. Thank you very much, Curiosity.
A wave of relief washes over me. I knew Quinn wasn't really an extrovert, but the idea they haven't spoken to a human being in over 4 years was, well, it was believable, which was worrying.
I am glad that the circumstances of our encounter have once again changed, and I have been a help to you. Oh, Quinn is here.
It doesn't even fully complete a sentence before it whips past me, zipping towards the small shape in the distance. Quinn greets the robot with a smile and says something to it as they both approach, before they catch my gaze and offer a timid wave. The moment I see them smile, I rush over too, smiling and giving them a wave of my own. The relief of seeing them threatens to overwhelm me again, my worries about our meeting falling off with each step.
Quinn, you made it!
Yeah, hey. Sorry, the paperwork was...
I know. No worries. I'm just glad you're here.
I'm happy too.
Thanks.
Quinn pulls their hoodie around themselves a bit tighter at the attention, looking up and away towards nothing in particular. I make it my mission to try to keep them here on Florel.
I was thinking we could take a walk around town, if you're up for it. And maybe tell me a few stories of your adventures?
I don't know if I have a ton of great stories to tell.
That's fine. I like okay stories too.
A grin finds its way across Quinn's face, and they rub the back of their neck sheepishly.
I can do that at least.
Quinn, your stories are not okay. They are great. Please do not speak inaccurately.
There you go, Curiosity. Be a hype bot.
Modesty. Noun.
A state or quality in which one approximates their abilities to a moderate value, i.e. humility. You win this time.
It has a dictionary?
They do, yeah. And they've even got pronouns.
I'm currently using they/them/theirs.
And pronouns!
I'm not sure what kind of robot Curiosity is, but they keep surprising me. The world is truly incredible. I make a mental note to correct myself going forward.
That's awesome! Really, what else can you do?
I can microwave.
Like inside your body, or...
I can use the microwave.
Huh, I can do that too.
Curiosity chimes a melodic sound, a cheery jingle that intermingles with her voice. Is that a laugh? It's adorable.
They were a really big help for me. Alarm clocks, timers, quick calculations, pressure readings, air toxicity warnings.
That's progressively getting scarier.
Blood pressure levels, oxygen detection, emergency global positioning pings.
You're not doing anything too dangerous out there, are you?
Not at all. We play it safe. We like to explore, not necessarily take big risks.
We simply explore the forgotten reaches of the galaxy. All the forgotten planets.
How many planets have been forgotten? What strange phrasing. Still, I take in every word, nodding along and watching the two bounce off each other like a well-oiled machine. Or something less close to curiosity. Like two peas in a pod? Quinn smiles at their friend, who sits comfortably in their arms. Suddenly aware of the silence, they glance up at me, and we lock eyes. Their face flushes slightly. Well, I'll return to Curiosity's statement then.
Tell me about it. What's a forgotten planet?
It is a planet that was once lived in, but humanity has since abandoned. However, we use the term liberally to include places humanity has spent an extensive amount of time in, so other celestial bodies may meet this criteria.
Well, that was way better than I could have put it.
So, like, wastelands?
Nothing that dangerous. I guess it's more like... museums.
You're doing interplanetary museum hopping?
Well, that sounds kind of fun, actually. Quinn struggles to think how to explain whatever it is they're talking about before giving Curiosity a helpless look.
A recent expedition took us to a planet that planetary engineers used for testing artificial weather. It is a recently abandoned planet, so there was much to see, such as isolated thunderstorms and a tower that controlled soil temperature in a 400-kilometer radius.
Wow. Really? And there was no one there?
That's the point of it, yeah.
What an incredibly Quinn way to see the stars.
It's nice. We can take our time and see whatever's left behind, I guess. Curiosity's been trying to make a collection of their own, taking whatever neat,
Cool.
things we can find, documenting them and putting them away in their own space in the ship. We usually go as far as we can. Lots of these places have histories that no one even remembers anymore. So to get to see it with our own eyes, it just feels really special. It might be nice to see something different sometime too. But I like our way all the same. Sorry, didn't mean to ramble.
No, not at all. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You know, I've just been stuck here all this time. Same old job, same old routine every day. The only excitement I get in my life is when Cece's director asks if I can cover someone else's radio time slot.
I feel the world's tumbling forth like a current. I don't know what it is, but talking to Quinn like this, it just feels like nothing's changed, and everything in me just wants to be open with them.
There's a whole galaxy out there, and you've been out in the middle of it. If I were you, I don't think I'd ever shut up. The things you must have seen, the places you must have been.
I'm usually good at this. Keeping up a bubbly personality and making fun conversation, not getting too personal in case the mood might shift, but I just want to tell them everything.
You're following a dream of yours, aren't you? Here I've been just wishing to have one. The biggest thing I've done in the past 4 years was because of you, you know? I messaged Izzy and Hanna. I told them that I missed them. So I guess I'm trying to say that I'm happy you're here, and I want you to ramble and tell me everything too.
Quinn stares at me, their face once again falling into open uncertainty and awe. I feel a bit of heat rushing to my cheeks, hoping that it's the heat and not the embarrassment of just dumping everything onto them at once.
Wow. Sorry, I wasn't really expecting that. You reached out to Izzy and Hanna?
I did. I think we all miss each other, you know?
Quinn blinks, but doesn't recoil this time. Doesn't turn or even glance away as curiosity looks between me and them, trying to follow the conversation with probably only a fifth of the context.
Thanks, Summer. That's really nice to hear. I'm glad that you ran into me. But, you know, I won't be staying long.
Of course. Even if they were the spark, Quinn's arrival is the first step of change for me. It's up to me to keep walking.
I know. I wouldn't ask you to stay. You're a free bird now. Just spare another hour or two?
Yeah. That sounds fun. Then, I guess this one time, we went towards this abandoned planet a few galaxies away. Even after a few days of just taking wormholes as far as we could, it still took another month of drifting to find it.
The two of us talk, and somehow we don't run out of things to say. It helps having curiosity there to fill in some of the silences. All too soon, we end up parting ways again, and I head back home. I didn't want to push things too much, so I didn't ask to make future plans with Quinn, but I hope they can tell that I want you. See, you're doing the mind reading thing again. It didn't work out so well last time. When I get back to my place, I find Ma in the living room watching a show. She puts it on mute as soon as I walk in, though. I open my mouth to say hello, but Ma waves a hand to shush me.
Hold that thought. Naomi! Summer's home!
Coming!
Mom's voice floats down from up the stairs, with the rest of her following right behind. She scurries over to the couch and settles down beside Ma, where they both look at me expectantly. Settling into one of the chairs, I roll my eyes. It's just like when Izzy left.
I swear, you two are like teenagers.
Not that it actually bothers me, of course. Telling them how it went is the first thing I was going to do anyway.
You're not too far from it yourself, Missy.
Now go on, spill the beans.
I give them a recap of what Quinn and Curiosity have been up to. I don't go into quite as much detail as they did, but I try to remember all the highlights. When I finish, Mom passed the empty spot on the couch next to her, calling me to sit by her and Ma. I do, leaning against Mom's side, and she ruffles my hair.
Oh, sounds like it all worked out then.
Mm-hmm. This was the best day I've had in a long time.
First Izzy, then Quinn. There's only one thing that can make today even better. I slide my phone out of my pocket, having to contort myself to reach it without throwing off Mom's arm. When I check the screen, I almost drop it in shock.
It's Hanna!
I haven't checked my phone in hours, not since I was with Quinn. Hanna replied earlier today, I didn't even notice. Handshaking a bit, I open her message. Hello, Summer. I'm sorry I didn't answer sooner. I'll be landing on Florell tomorrow. I'm going to be rather busy the next couple of days, but I'd like to find the time. A bit later, she sent another message. I miss you too. Of course, I shouldn't be surprised she's already got her next couple days planned out. Even without the CosCon coming up, which I'm sure she's heard about, Hanna's always been the type to schedule things way in advance. I won't let that stop me, though. I quickly type back a reply. Can I meet you at the station? I don't even have time to put my phone away before I see Hanna start typing a reply. In Willowmere? I'll be arriving at PTLS and taking the train there. Yeah, at Fairmorn. Alright, I'll send you my itinerary. She passes on all the information on her arrival times, and we hash out all the details in short order. Once it's all set, I finally collapse against the couch with a triumphant sigh.
I don't think we even need to ask this time.
Nope. Tomorrow, Fairmorn Station, a little after lunch. Gonna see her then.
With everything settled, Mom was finally able to unpause the show she was watching when I got home. All three of us stayed there on the couch together, although I'm only half paying attention. The other half of me is just reliving the past day and daydreaming about what comes next. Lately, real life has taken a turn for the wonderful. Maybe it's okay to hope for just a little more. When it's finally late enough for us to call it a night, I make myself some bedtime tea before going up and reading a while. One last nice surprise for the day. I find myself getting tired and eventually drift off to sleep. Despite doing my best to sleep in, I wake up earlier than I'd like. I even skip my morning coffee in the hope that'll let me fall back asleep, but that doesn't seem to work. I've always been the kind of girl to schedule my doctor appointments and everything as early as possible, because I hate waiting for the right time to roll around. But since there's nothing that I can do about Hanna's schedule, I'm left abuzz with excitement around the house. Sitting in my bedroom, it's hard for me to focus on the game I'm trying to play. After messing up a jump I know I'm capable of, for the 5th time, I save and turn it off. With Quinn and Izzy, there wasn't any time to be impatient. Now there's more than enough. I get so desperate, I even do some extra chores I've been putting off, like weeding the garden. After showering and getting dressed, I'm reduced to spinning circles in my desk chair for a while. I mean, you could go back to reading. When it's late enough I can convince myself I won't be too early, I burst out of my seat and hurry downstairs, stumbling a bit from dizziness.
Off to meet Hanna?
Yep. What's with the smirk?
Nothing. I'm sure she'll be thrilled to see you.
That's not a nothing smirk. That's a there's something I'm not telling you smirk.
You'll understand when you're older, sweetie.
I'm 23.
Okay, there we go. There's confirmation.
Still a long way to go. Now scoot. Don't keep Hanna waiting any longer.
I'm probably gonna be waiting for her, but yeah, I'm off. See you, love you, bye.
I barely said goodbye before I'm out the door and on my way to the local station. I'll be going to CC after I meet with Hanna, so I bring my jacket just in case. Arriving right where the train does, I hop on and get whisked off towards Fairmorn Station. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yes, it doesn't quite fully load. Even with the stops along the way, I still arrive ahead of when Hanna should. As the biggest station in Willowmere, Fairmorn is also the only one with a line that runs between here and the city of Petalstreak. She'll be on one of those. Of course, it's also the busiest station. That's even more true today. I imagine a lot of folks have company arriving for the concurrence, on top of all the normal travel reasons. For the few tourists that do come to Florel under normal circumstances, this time of year is perfect. Not too hot, not too cold, and plenty of opportunities to relax. Sitting on a bench out of the way, I wait. I try and fail to relax. A signboard detailing all the arriving trains ticks down the minutes to Hanna's arrival. Ever since I was a kid, just being at the station was a reason to be excited. It meant we were either going somewhere or someone was coming to see us. Even though my mom's never went further than Petalstreak, it still felt like an adventure. Now, waiting for Hanna, I feel that same excitement. Finally, I get up. There are lots of other people standing impatiently. I stand impatiently. The signboard dings for broadcasting an arrival message in several languages. The train appears in the distance, the open-air station providing a clear view of the fields and the track runs through. As it gets closer, a loud rumbling fills the air, shaking the ground underfoot. That rumble turns into a quiet hiss as the train slows to a stop alongside the platform, and everyone backs up a bit to give space for the folks disembarking. Do we have steam engines in a solarpunk setting? Wow. A tide of people flows out, some walking on and out of the station, others finding people waiting for them, and cascading into hugs and greetings. Standing on my tiptoes, I scan for the oncoming faces, looking for any sign of Hanna. ... That didn't quite load. There! A white hat fluttering in the breeze, and a hand holding it in place. As the gap forms in the crowd for a moment, I get a glimpse of Hanna's face as she moves in my general direction. She walks slower than most others, and it isn't long before the crowd moves on, leaving Hanna on her own towards the back. I dart towards her, waving,
Hanna! Hanna!
It takes a moment for her to figure out who's yelling for her. I see her look around, just like I was a second ago. I hold my hand high overhead, calling her name again. As she finally sees me, she comes to a stop, mouth falling open in a perfect O. I hurry towards her, dodging around the last few people in my way. Hanna stands there. I do my best not to keep her waiting. Unlike when I ran into Quinn a few nights ago, this time I'm able to bring myself to a respectable stop. She quickly adjusts her bangs and repositions her hat before facing me with a bright smile.
Summer, you're here.
A tinge of red crosses her cheeks.
You bet I am.
I pull her into an embrace, being careful not to crash into her too hard. That doesn't stop me from wrapping my arms around her so tightly her hat almost falls off again. Hanna's always been the one I don't have to worry about hugging. Sometimes she's even huggier than I am. After a second's shock, I feel her squeeze me back.
I missed you so much.
There's a tremble in her voice that I've heard many times before. I let go of Hanna, and she rubs one eye.
Oh, no. Don't cry. You're gonna make me cry too.
She half laughs, half sniffles.
Too late. It's happy crying, though. At least I managed to wait until I got off the train. Don't worry. I had my happy tears too. And I'm sure there'll be more. You haven't gotten the real summer waterworks yet. I've missed those too. I've seen plenty of people in tears, but it's usually over homework and exams instead. There's plenty more where this came from. Trust me. Let's go. Can I help you with your stuff? Oh. Sure, thank you.
In addition to the bag she's carrying, and also has an automated bag that rolls along behind her. It's connected to a small transmitter in her handbag. I know this because she's had it forever. Izzy used to love taking the transmitter and getting Hanna's rubber bag to follow her around, sometimes without asking Hanna first. Hanna gratefully passes me the other one, rubbing her shoulder once it's free. I can see why. It's a lot heavier than it looks.
Ugh. What's in this? A bunch of rocks? Some, yes. Amongst other geological samples.
I thought I was just making a joke.
Good thing I'm here then, huh? Yes. You've always shown up at the perfect time in my life.
We start walking slowly towards one of the other platforms, where Hanna will catch her train back home. And I guess where I'll catch mine, too. For the first time since we met, her face falls. Just a little bit.
Although... What's wrong? Nothing at all. I'm just...
She halts, looking a bit nervous.
Why now? Don't get me wrong, I was very glad when you messaged me, but... After all this time, what changed?
Biting my lip, I look down at the floor.
Nothing, really. Not me, at least. I never stopped wanting to talk to you guys, or for things to be any different than they had been. But then, stuff happened, whether I liked it or not. And I didn't know how to deal with that. I guess I figured that whatever was going on had to be what everyone else wanted, too.
And we know what assuming does, don't we?
Maybe that was just what growing up was like. It's normal to drift apart or go in different directions, I think. You know, I never cared that much about normal, though, but I figured it was just me. That if you or Quinn or Izzy wanted anything to do with me, then you'd tell me. And so if I didn't hear anything, that just meant it was on purpose. You all had your own lives to live and dreams to fulfill, and those didn't have to include me. I basically told myself I was okay with that. Only, I wasn't. I never was. But by the time I admitted that to myself, it felt like it was too late. I didn't even realize I was stuck going round in circles. Not until the other day, when I ran into Quinn. Just out of nowhere. So I just told them how I was feeling. That I wanted to see them again. I was kinda surprised when they agreed to it. After that, I messaged you and Izzy too. Up until the minute you said yes to meeting up with me, I was ready for you to say no. Sorry it took me so long.
Wiping an eye, Hanna shakes her head.
Don't be. I said you're always right on time, didn't I? To tell you the truth, I was feeling the same way, more or less. When I heard about Quinn leaving and about how upset they were, I wished I could have gone back and changed my mind. The stupid exam I was studying for got rescheduled anyway. I told myself it was just the kind of sacrifice that I'd have to get used to making. Having friends would just make it harder to find time for all the work I had to do. Then, after a year of living like that and being ready to drop out, I realized I couldn't keep being on my own the whole time. I started accepting some of my roommates' invitations to spend time together, and went to some study groups.
Interacting with other people? While in school? I don't know about that.
I've met a lot of very kind people that I'm happy to call friends, but I've still never met anyone else like you and Quinn and Izzy.
Gently setting Hannah's bag of rocks on the ground, I give her a second, equally gentle hug. I've been doing this a lot lately, but I don't care. For a moment, we blend in with everyone else waiting here at the station, another joyous reunion.
Come on, I guess we should go sit down, right?
With a nod, Hanna follows me the rest of the way to one of the benches. The signboard, which couldn't get to Hannah's arrival fast enough earlier, is now racing towards her departure. It's 7.5 minutes away, to be exact.
I want to hear about everything at some point, you know? School, friends, all of it.
Of course, I'll tell you everything. What about you? How have you been?
I've been alright. I've stayed here in Florel, mostly helping out Cece. I've got a radio show that I do every week, where I get to play music and talk about what's on my mind. Still never been off planet.
Because of your mom?
Yeah, she makes the best of it. She and Ma even went on a low-altitude trip a while ago. Her body's fine as long as she doesn't try to go past her atmosphere. Ma still won't leave the planet without her, but they both love it here on Florel, so it's not like that's a problem for them.
I found that I like Florel a lot more after spending so much time away from it. It's nice to come back to.
What about Talavi? Have you gone back there at all?
Once for a class trip. It was nice to see, but even I was surprised that it didn't feel like home at all anymore.
It's been a long time since you first moved to Florel. Longer than you even lived there, right?
Yes, by about a year or two. When I was there, I was thinking about soil composition and atmospheric particles more than childhood memories.
Do they have good dirt on Talavi?
Not as good as on Florel. The soil is much less nutrient-rich compared to here, so the flora isn't as robust. However, it gave me an idea regarding the atmospheric interaction with Talavi's plants. In fact...
Uh-oh. Are we gonna get a TISM dump? Yep. Hopping to her feet, Hanna launches off on a spirited tangent that goes way over my head. But the smile on my face as I nod along is genuine. It matches the passion that she clearly has for what she's explaining to me.
Anyway, as I was saying, that's the third sample that I brought. There's one more which I intend to analyze over this weekend once I'm home.
Wait, I thought you were supposed to be on vacation, not doing homework.
Oh, this isn't for school. It's for my own curiosity. In fact, I had to argue with customs just to be permitted to bring them home.
Must have been a heck of an argument.
But I do also have homework. My capstone project. I've been working on it since I first enrolled.
Wait, a capstone project? Not a dissertation? Not a thesis? I don't know.
For that long? How huge is this thing? I know you haven't been putting it off.
It's something all graduating planetary engineers have to do. We need to complete a full design and specs and then submit it to one of the guilds. It doesn't have to get chosen to be made, but it has to be eligible.
Whoa, that's amazing. Seriously.
Well, I haven't done it yet. And like I said, all of my classmates have to make one as well.
That doesn't make it any less amazing. Just means your classmates are great too.
Wait, planetary engineer. So what, we're assembling planets? Yeah, from the lore we've been getting, it sounds like they're building planets from scratch, or at least like we're reassembling them. I don't know. It's
That's true. Anyway, sorry to ramble like that. I'm sure you don't care about dirt and rocks.
I do, just maybe not quite as much. Don't apologize though. I like hearing about it. So, what's it like studying planetary engineering? As much fun as you hoped?
Definitely. This next year, my final year, is going to be difficult. But I'm really grateful for all the experiences it's given me. I've been to many other planets that are much more interesting than Talivi by now. All for school trips, of course, so there's never been any time to really explore and learn about them as much as I'd like to. But even a few days or a week teaches me plenty. I'm glad I got to see so much while I still can.
Before I can answer her, the station starts to shake. At first I think it's a train arriving, but there aren't any in sight. Then I realize what's happening. I step forward and put a hand on Hanna's shoulder to help her keep her balance.
Is this an earthquake? I didn't think Florel...
Not an earthquake. You might want to cover your ears.
The second the words leave my mouth, the celestial noise starts up. This is my first time being out in public when it happens, so I'm fascinated by others' reactions. A few people stop and cover their ears, while others carry on like nothing is happening at all. You can definitely tell who's arriving from somewhere other than Florel, because most of those folks look around in confusion. Then there are some people like Hanna who simply stop and listen. When it ends a few seconds later, she steps away from me, looking even more excited than she was talking about dirt. And that girl loves her dirt.
What was that?
I think this might be the first time Hannah's ever asked me that question instead of the other way around.
We've been calling it celestial noise. It happens almost every day. Kind of annoying, if you ask me.
I can't wait to learn more about it. It must be related to the cosmic concurrence, right? I've been checking the observation department's board every day for updates, but I hadn't read anything about this.
Well, it's definitely been happening for at least a month now.
I almost mentioned how frequently I complain about it, but hold myself back. Hanna seems really impressed by it, just like I was at the park a couple days ago. No need for me to spoil that.
I hope so. I've been looking forward to the concurrence for weeks. I made sure I'd be home in time to see it.
Not much longer to wait. I can't believe it's tomorrow.
The signboard near us plays its jingle and arrival message, jerking both my and Hanna's attention to it. At the same time, the train that Hanna's waiting for comes into view. I feel disappointed at the sight of it.
Guess this is it for today, huh?
Yes, but just for today. I'd like to see you again, if that's alright with you.
All right. I was trying to think of a way to ask you that.
It's settled then. I'm glad you came to meet me here.
Both of us have to wait a second before saying anything else, as the train comes to a noisy stop beside us. The doors open, and Hanna lifts her bag, automated luggage rolling behind her.
See you soon.
Definitely. See ya.
I wave until the does short behind her. The train takes off, heading towards her parents' neighborhood and leaving me on my own. As it disappears from sight, I fall back onto the bench I was sitting on, my legs suddenly weak. I've got past the point where it feels unreal. Now I have to figure out what comes next. Fortunately, I have the next few hours planned out for me. I wait for the train that will take me to CC, where we're doing some final prep and sorting out the latest arrivals. It keeps me on my feet and busy all afternoon. until it's time for my show. After one last debriefing for the big day, I say goodbye to everyone else and head up to the radio room. Reaching the top of CZ, the doors slide open with a pleasant ding. This is almost as high up as it goes. The only stop above this one is access to the clock tower. I step into the radio room, my home, away from home. Also, apparently, vinyl? There's an organized, familiar chaos to it all. Stacks of recordings that are older than any of us cover the tables and shelves. To play it, you need equipment that's hard to find even on Florell. I'll bet most plans don't have the capability at all. Okay, that sounds like vinyl. Near the front, there's a desk that's perpetually covered in papers, which are perpetually covered in coffee stains. The papers and the stains themselves cycle out as Manny, the radio program's director, gets through them, but they always manage to be replaced. Looks like I'm too late to catch Manny to himself today, but he's left the lights on for me. Before I get set up at the radio, I grab the watering can that we keep in the corner and take care of all the plants. This room gets a lot of natural light, so we have extra plants to take advantage of it. Even by Florellian standards, it's kind of excessive, but that's just part of what makes it feel like home for me. They hang in planters, sit in pots, and even grow up the walls in some places.
Drink up, buds. You've got to keep up with the boys outside getting all the rain.
When I'm done, I pour my own cup of water and sip it while I collect my thoughts. Usually I'll spend the time before my show planning what I want to talk about. Most of the time it's coming up with something interesting to say, something they haven't heard from me before. Right now, though, it's hard for me to think about anything other than my friends. That addictive rush of conflicted excitement. Finishing my drink, I slide down into my chair. The broadcast system up here is pretty simple. I can play stuff from my phone, or I can hook up any of the analog devices we have laying around. I pretty much always use my phone, but I know a few people who prefer discs or tapes. Tapes? Oh, wow. I think there's just something appealing about the physical involvement of pressing the play button. There are about 4 or 5 of us at any given time who do radio shows. Mine is one of the longest running. It's that way for a lot of folks on SCC. They spend a year or two here, then they're on to bigger and better things. Not me, though. I'll probably still be here when I'm 40. And as far as futures on Florell goes, the idea doesn't bother me. Much. When everything's set and ready to go, I center myself with a deep breath in front of the microphone before I hold down the broadcast button. I feel jittery in a way I haven't since I started my show a couple years ago.
Hey there, Willowmere. It's me, Summer. It's been... Oh, boy, it's been a crazy few days since the last time I was here. A lot of stuff that I never thought would happen happened, and now I'm still trying to figure it all out. Have you ever really wanted something, and then once you have it, you don't know what to do with it? Like, you didn't really expect this wish to come true, so you didn't plan this far ahead. That's kind of where I'm at right now. See, I have these friends. I was worried that I couldn't call them that anymore, because it's been years since I've seen any of them. I won't go too into it. Anyone who would actually care already knows all about it.
I don't know, people do love some hot goss.
I was worried that maybe they hated me, or they'd never want to talk to me again. Because if they did, then they would have, right? That's what I told myself. But then, this past week, I got to meet up with all of them. And surprise, surprise, they don't hate me. I still get to call them my friends after all. It felt so good. It felt like a part of my world that was missing came back. Now, I'm worried about losing that part again. I got a second chance I didn't expect, and I don't want to blow it. I mean, these are rare enough as it is. No way do I get a third try. Right now, it feels like anything could happen, good or bad. That's really scary, because I haven't had anything to lose before. Not for a while, at least. So that's what's on my mind tonight. But enough for now, here's some music.
I take my finger off the button and let the mic go cold as I load up the first couple tracks. It's nice to imagine that the people listening to my show like hearing me talk. But I'd be just as happy to find out there are folks who turn in because they have the same taste in music. At least that way, there's something we both like. Besides, I think there's a kind of connection that you automatically have with someone who enjoys the same songs as you. Something that resonates in both of you. I think that goes beyond any words I could say anyway. Besides, I don't know who else might be listening. I let my thoughts drift in that direction while I stare out the window, just swaying to the sounds. A few songs later and I go live again. Even after pressing the button, it takes a second to start talking.
Still here, still summer. Hope you're having a good evening here in Willowmere, or a good morning or day or whatever if you're somewhere else. I was just thinking about music and how it connects us. First time someone's ever thought about that, I'm sure. But mostly, I was thinking about how cool it is when you meet someone else who likes the same stuff you do. It's nice to just automatically understand someone like that, and be understood. I don't know why I can only say these things here, where it's like nobody's listening, when actually there are a lot of you listening. At least, I hope there are. Oh, man, that's embarrassing though, too.
That's not embarrassing. You want to do your job well. The thought of potentially hundreds of strangers listening to me whine about my life is vaguely mortifying, but is also kind of freeing. And that right there is the streamer experience. They might know my name and my voice, but beyond that, they don't know anything about me. Just what I tell them. To the people listening to my show, I can be anyone. So what if I embarrass myself or overshare a little? They can listen to another station. And if anyone I do know happens to hear this, it's not like I'm saying anything I don't actually want them to know. Like always, the show passes the same way. Long stretches of music interspersed with me talking. Before I know it, nighttime has set in. With only 22 hours in a Floralian day, it doesn't take long to go from twilight to no light. As the final note of the final song fades away, I clear my throat and lean into the mic for one last time.
Alright, that's it for me. The CosCon is tomorrow, so who knows? Maybe our worlds really will change after seeing it. Maybe we'll be different people next time. Guess we'll find out. Good night, Willowmere.
Flicking everything off, I shut down the broadcast equipment for the night, but instead of getting up, I remain seated for just a little longer. Somewhere out there, out my window, I know that 3 of the lights on the horizon probably come from Hanna, Quinn, and Izzy. Closer to me than they've been in years. All of us here together in one place again.
I can't mess this up.
Slowly, I rise, turning off the lights and saying goodnight to the radio room and to Cece. Exiting the community center, I follow the lamplit path back towards home. But before I've even made it out of Willowmere proper, my phone buzzes in my pocket. I slide it out, expecting to see a message from one of my parents, and nearly drop my phone in shock when I see who it's actually from. Quinn. Normally they'd get at least a skipped heartbeat from me, but it's the fact their message is a group message, and not just one they sent to me, that gives me the true loop-de-loop feeling in my stomach. I have to stop walking because suddenly, all my energy has gone to making my hands and knees shake.
Get it together, Summer.
It's just a text message. I don't even know what it says yet. I just see the icon from our ancient group chat, some joke I don't remember anymore, alongside Quinn's name on the notification. Stealing myself, I unlock my phone and open the message all in one swift motion. Hey, I was listening to Summer's radio show, and I needed to tell you guys that I don't hate you. I'm sorry for leaving how I did. I miss you all. It's barely a single line long, but I read it again and again. In classic Quinn fashion, it's almost painfully short, but it doesn't waste a word. In fact, coming from them, it's extra meaningful. I can practically see them blushing as they force themselves to be this honest. As I'm still staring at the screen, another message pops up. This one's from Izzy. You're listening too, huh? 2 out of 3. Right as I think that, 3 green dots appear in the corner and then disappear. This happens a couple times. Hannah's always taking a while to respond. Okay, Hannah's the one that sends walls of text. I say, knowing full well, I'm that person too. I realized I started walking again. I'm not even sure when. I feel like I'm on autopilot. Finally, Hanna's reply comes through. I heard it too. I hope I wouldn't be the only one. I feel the same way. 3 people, 3 messages, 3 lights scattered across Willowmere. I stop and look around, and now that's my turn to reply. And where I am couldn't be more perfect. I take a seat on one of the swing sets, then take a picture of the park. I figure I said all the words I needed to already, back in the radio room. So I just send the picture, knowing, not hoping, that they'll understand. Then, smiling, I slip my phone back into my pocket, and wait. So my feelings did manage to reach them after all. Even though I couldn't say it to their faces, a part of me was hoping for that. By putting on my radio voice and detaching myself a bit, it was easier to be heartfelt and honest. That's probably something I should work on. Either way, it got the job done. Now I feel strangely at peace. The frantic agitation I felt just a little bit ago went away pretty fast, scrubbed off on my friends' words. My friends. They heard all of it, I assume. My fears and worries, and how I felt about seeing them recently. They heard all that and still sent those messages. Ma's never going to let me live down how right she was when she hears I was just worrying too much. But I know that'll be only because how glad she'll be to know it. I guess I can let her have this one. Standing, I take a few steps back and kick my feet up, letting the swing do its thing. Up and down, back and forth. The only real limit on how high I can go is my own 2 feet, dragging along the ground beneath me. Before it's been too long, a figure starts to approach from the darkness. As they get closer to the light from the lamp, I recognize Izzy's shock of purple hair and lanky walk.
Hey!
I call out, not too worried about keeping quiet. There's no one else around for us to disturb. Izzy looks around at the sound of my voice, then spots me, approaching with a wave.
Yo!
You sure got here fast?
Yeah, I was in the area. Had to drop something off for my bro, and then I took a nap downtown. Wasn't totally sure you sent that picture in like a, hey, come here where I am way, but looks like I got that one right.
You sure did.
I pat one of the empty swings next to me, and Izzy climbs onto it, balancing like she's standing on a surfboard. The seat swirls and the chains twist, but she manages to keep her balance. Somehow. Hanna's the next one to arrive a few minutes later. We can hear her footsteps tapping down the path before she arrives, each one even and precise. She spots the 2 of us right away and approaches.
Hanna!
I wave, but she returns.
Hey, Hanners!
Izzy waves too, letting go one of the chains. For the first time in years, Hanna and Izzy look each other face to face. Hanna sighs, but I can see her biting her cheek to not laugh.
You're going to fall, you know.
I'm not.
Izzy's foot suddenly slides off the edge of the swing, and she falls backwards, managing to land on her butt instead of her head. Smiling, Hanna walks over and reaches out a hand to help Izzy up.
Hi, Izzy. It's good to see you.
Izzy climbs to her feet, using Hanna's arm to pull herself up, rather than being pulled. The 2 of them wrap each other in an embrace, and I have to look away or else I'll tear up. Leave it to me to start crying at someone else's hug. Finally, Quinn gets there, with curiosity in tow. As they come into view, I'm pretty sure I see them stumble with momentary hesitation. But it doesn't stop them, and the pair walk over to where we're waiting. Already, I can see Hanna fidgeting a little bit. I hop up to my feet with a grin.
Hey, you 2!
I put on my biggest, most enthusiastic, I'm not going to let this be an awkward silence attitude that I can. So bright it would be weirder for them to not respond than to respond. It works, and they join us with a sheepish look.
Hey.
Hello.
Hanna's instant, tense reply comes with a jerky wave and a smile that I can tell she wants to believe in. Izzy hops up like I just did, arms extended towards Quinn. I sort of expected them to dodge away, but they don't. They hug Izzy back, and then, after a shared look of uncertainty, hug Hanna too.
Wow. I have not witnessed Quinn engage in so many social interactions since I first met them. You 3 truly must be very special to them.
While Quinn's face turns bright red, Hanna and Izzy seem to notice curiosity for the first time.
Yo, Quinn, who's your conscience?
Greetings. My name is Curiosity. Quinn is my friend. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
I'm Hanna.
You must be Hanna Reed. I've heard a lot about you.
Quinn abruptly steps in front of Curiosity, before they can start sharing any of those details.
Curiosity and I travel together. They're
pretty special for a robot.
Quinn nods gratefully.
The two of you have met before? Yep, I met Curio the same day I saw Quinn again.
Curio. Does that refer to me?
Yeah, it does. I guess it's a nickname. Do you like it?
I have never had a nickname before. I have not had a name for very long either. I would be very grateful to receive this one.
All right, Curio. Welcome to the team.
Izzy whoops and claps her hands, while Hanna looks simultaneously amused and embarrassed by the commotion. I clap a couple times too, and even Quinn looks happy for their robot companion. Somehow, it's that simple. Not only is it easy to welcome someone new into the group, but there's a group for them to join. There's some tension still, I'm not blind, but those bonds that once connected us, that I was so afraid had been broken forever, they're still here.
Summer, are you alright? I'm fine.
With a big sniffle, I managed to keep most of the waterworks away. Slowly, everyone ends up taking what I still think of as their usual spots. Quinn leans against one of the playground support beams, while Curiosity goes down the slide, then jets back up at the top to do it again. Hanna takes a seat on some of the stairs, stretching her legs out. Izzy dangles from one of the monkey bars, even though she's too tall for it to really work. Quinn clears their throat to get everyone's attention.
So, I said it in my message, but I'm sorry for just leaving all those years ago. Over something as small as a birthday party. It was stupid. Ever since then, I've wished that I hadn't. But I didn't think any of you would want to hear that, and I understand if any of you can't forgive me for it.
No. Although they're talking to everyone, I can see that Quinn's looking right at Hanna, who's staring at the ground. Hanna mumbles something in response that I'm sure none of us can hear. Before anyone can ask her to repeat herself, she straightens up, tears in her eyes.
Of course I do. I missed you just as much as everyone else.
For the first time since they arrived, Quinn really smiles. Curiosity, on the other hand, looks confused. I wonder just how much Quinn told them about us, and what. Noticing the giant question mark on their friend's face, Quinn gets a little red again.
It was...
Hanners was busy and couldn't make it to Quinn's birthday party, and Quinn felt like she didn't want to be there.
Although they both look kind of embarrassed, Quinn and Hanna both nod.
Pretty much.
I could have made more of an effort, it's true. I regretted it the minute it was too late.
Curiosity looks up at Izzy in wonder.
Thank you. That was most efficient communication.
I'm just telling it like it is.
Out of the corner of her eye, Izzy winks at me. The way she tells the story is true. Hanna was supposed to come back to Florel, but decided not to take the time off from school. Quinn, feeling hurt, left and never came back, and so suddenly, it was just Izzy and me. Although the two of us hung out a couple times after that, it never felt right. Like the absence of Hanna and Quinn was a black hole, a void we couldn't fill. After a bit, we stopped trying. Yeah, we got a little bit of that earlier. Ever since then, we've all been on our own, apparently wishing that we weren't. It sounds so simple and so dumb, mostly because it is. Eventually missing them just became normal, and so it all remained unsaid. But here, tonight, it all feels right again. The four of us talked for at least a couple hours, although the time flies by. Hannah's the first one to yawn, setting off a chain reaction that spreads to the rest of us, and makes me realize just how late it's gotten. I know we're all going to have to part ways again soon, but I'm determined to make sure it's not the last time. When there's a lull in the conversation, I hop to my feet. My butt's sore from sitting in a kid's swing for so long, but somehow I don't mind the pain at all.
Hey, so tomorrow, the CosCon. I'd love to see it with all of you. Like this, together. If, you don't have any other plans.
I'm already prepared to be turned down, since it wouldn't be a surprise if they're busy.
I'd like that. My parents will enjoy their time together, I'm sure.
Yeah, my moms are gonna make a whole date out of it, too.
Might shock ya, but I'm not busy either. You bet I'll be there.
Good, you better be.
What about us, Quinn? Will we be joining?
I'd like to. Yeah. As long as you're up for it.
I do want to. I've enjoyed spending time with my friends tonight.
Then it's settled.
I clap my hands together for emphasis.
Tomorrow night at the usual spot?
Everyone agrees, and we all pair up for one more round of goodbye hugs before everyone heads back home for the night. Even after I'm alone again, I linger in the park a little bit longer, staring up at the stars as I slowly make my way home. The joy I feel in my heart right now is unlike anything I can remember, at least not in recent memory. Up in the sky, a bright light catches my star as light goes streaking across. It's a real shooting star this time. Smiling, I look down and focus on the path ahead of me. There's nothing I can think of to wish for. It may as well be a holiday. The buildings are empty and the streets are full of people dancing, laughing, and singing. Our planet is the kind of place that people visit to relax and sightsee safely. If you come here, it must be because you really like grassy plains and rivers. We don't have any crazy geology or galactically famous cities or people. Nothing that's exciting or special. Oh, so we're in space, Nebraska. Awesome. No wonder I like this place so much. So we'll take every chance we can get to have a celebration. There's a party on every corner of the city as my moms and I pass through. Rainbow-colored streamers are draped over the plain soap columns and brick walls. A new mural drawn by the kids at one of the local schools has been unveiled. A few streets away, there's a symphony performing. It's too far away to hear what songs they're playing, but close enough to catch the occasional melody. I'm sure that once I leave to meet up with the others, my parents will end up at the concert. Ma can't hear a violin without crying at how beautiful it is. Kids' charge passes carry brightly colored party lasers. Party lasers? Ugh. Their parents are over at one of the booths where artistic renditions of what people think of the cosmic concurrence will look like are on display. Since no one's quite sure what to expect tonight, the plan seems to be to celebrate in every way possible. We do the usual gift giving, bringing folks who live in the city, visiting folks bring them fresh produce. Usually we leave with armfuls of whatever they've got, cheese or eggs or whatever that we don't grow ourselves. But today we pass on all that so we don't have to carry it around. Later, one of us will come pick it up on a grocery trip instead. Hanna's somewhere in town doing the same stuff I am with my family. They don't grow anything, but both our parents are geniuses at fixing things. Bikes, computers, robots, you name it. Anytime something breaks, you know, take it to the Reed family for assistance. Sometimes Hanna's helps too, but she's not exactly great at delicate handiwork. After a couple of incidents where things ended up more broken than before, I think they've all agreed that Hanna's not cut out for it. She's great at designing, though, and helping folks figure out what to do. As for Izzy, she mentioned something about doing babysitting before she meets up with us. As much as he claims about them sometimes, she's really good at being a big sister and looking out for the rest of her family. Outside the time we spent together, Izzy's and my childhoods were about as different as could be. Having my three friends over was about as full as my house ever got. My parents love all of them, but they also like having peace and quiet and time for their gardens. I'm an only child for a reason. As the day starts to turn evening, the excitement only grows. People who had been sitting around and chatting are now pacing about eagerly. A lot of folks glance at the sky and smile, glad that the clouds have gone. Others have already got cozy in their spots, where they'll watch for the night and are fixated on the sky, even though there's a couple hours to go. Eventually I say goodbye to my moms, who hurry off to hear the final songs from the symphony. I head to the station and catch a shuttle that takes me closer to the meeting spot with everyone else. The train is full of people going every direction. Hardly anyone is staying home tonight. I reach my station and disembark at the brink of twilight. It's been years, but I know this path like the back of my hand. Just past the end of the sidewalk, there's a small slope that leads to the end of the trail. That one follows the river for a bit, before splitting off towards the trees and hills. I cross the woods using familiar landmarks, an old burnt tree, a rundown shack with nothing inside, a fallen log. It makes me happy to see they withstood the test of time, and that I'm not lost. The last step is climbing up a series of hills until finally I reach the top, our secret spot. It's not the tallest hill around, but offers one of the best views. You can see clear onto Pedal Streak, over the tops of the trees and the building. Okay, yeah, Pedal Streak must be the big town in the distance. The grass here is thick and lush and perfect for lying down in. We nicknamed this place Stargazing Hill, but it was good for more than that. It was great for napping, doing homework, or just coming to be an angsty teenager alone. It was also great for picnics with friends, and camping trips, and now once-in-a-lifetime cosmic events. We discovered it a long time ago, exploring after class. It seemed awfully far away from school and from home at the time. That was part of the appeal. Now I'm glad it's as close as it is. A station hop and a short hike or nothing. I noticed a Quinn-shaped silhouette sitting on the ground nearby, almost hidden by the grass. They waved without facing me, so I would make my way over.
Am I that noisy?
Curiosity spotted you coming up the hill. You're the first one here.
Third, counting you two. How long you been here?
A while?
We have been staying on this hill for 117 hours, 19 minutes, and 34 seconds.
Okay, so curiosity can't keep a secret.
Wait, that's... You've been here almost a week?
Yeah, since we landed. This is where we've been staying.
Leave it to you to pick the coolest place and not tell anyone.
I wasn't trying to hide it. It just never came up.
Uh-huh, sure.
They look up at me, worry plainly written on their face. I shouldn't be surprised that they're still a little guarded. It's been a while.
Just teasing, don't worry. Mind if I sit down?
Sure.
They scoot over and I plop down beside them. The thick grass sways gently in the breeze, a whispering blanket that stretches all the way to town.
It hasn't changed at all, has it?
Gazing out at the unfolding evening, I know what they mean. There are a few more homes and buildings now than there were before, and a few marked trails and pathways where there used to be none. Up here, though, looking out from afar, I feel the same as I did a couple days ago, looking out from the radio tower. Knowing that there's more out there, and wanting to see it for myself. We used to stand on this hill and swear that someday we'd see it all. Cities, planets, galaxies, whatever. It never mattered where. All we wanted was adventure. To see and share something special with each other. Once we were old enough for it, real life got in the way. But now that it's come full circle, now that I'm here again with Quinn, with the others on their way...
You're right. It's exactly the same.
They smile. Nothing more needs to be said. Before long, curiosity stirs.
They here?
Yes, the others are arriving now.
Hanna and Izzy crest the hill. Izzy's in front, with Hanna trailing behind.
Hey, you two!
I hop up to greet them.
Yo!
Hello. There.
Hanna is somewhat out of breath, but she manages to straighten up and smile.
We're not late, are we? I ran into Hanna's on the way here and couldn't just leave her behind.
We have plenty of time, I told you.
Uh-huh. You sure we're taking yours?
I was walking at a perfectly reasonable pace, thank you. You were the one who was convinced we could find a shortcut.
Look, I did what I had to make sure we got here on time.
Hanna glares at Izzy, who gives her the most innocent face she can manage in return. For Izzy, that's not saying much. But most of their expressions melt into smiles at the same time.
I can't believe I missed you.
Hey, me either.
Nope, nothing has changed.
Come on, we're over here.
I return to my spot next to Quinn in curiosity. The new arrivals find a place to get comfy too. Hanna settles down on the grass where she is, and Izzy wastes no time sprawling on her back and taking up enough space for 3 people.
So, can someone explain to me what we're gonna actually see tonight? Everyone's talking about it, but I don't know what it is.
Another universe is passing by ours. When it's closest, we'll be able to see it.
See... what?
No one knows. That part's unpredictable.
Yeah, I'm still thrown by the idea that you're seeing another universe.
What? even know what's gonna happen then?
It's been calculated. At first, there was an anomaly in the routine measurements that were taken, and then once the Galactic Observation Department started looking into it, they...
You know what? Never mind. I'll just take your word for it.
We pass the time like this, chatting and laughing. Although I chime in here and there too, I'm perfectly content to listen to more than to talk. Or to listen more than talk. To listen, and to watch, and to just be. Starting Gazing Hills stays hours alone, but I can see signs of life all over town. The glow of a campfire or phone, the distant sound of anonymous laughter. Observation drones dart around overhead. Some belong to researchers, while others are just watching for fun. Tech can be just as important for science as it is for dreams, and friendship, and me. And knowing that I had at least some small part in all this, that my hours of stacking chairs, or directing guests, or that any of the other little tasks I've filled my time, have all contributed to this one moment. To me, Florell has never seemed more alive. The sky darkens and more stars emerge. Quinn leaves for a bit to grab a blanket from their ship, giving us a place to sit once the grass and dirt gets too cold. We stay cozy despite the chill. And then, right at the expected time, curiosity lights up with excitement.
Celestial noise detected. Something is about to happen.
Izzy and Hanna cut off mid-bicker. All five of us rise, turning to face the stars. At first there's nothing. Then, a thin, golden light begins to stretch overhead, an explorer charting its way through the sky. A deep rumbling reverberates through me, like the bassy notes of the symphony earlier, except different. It's not a rumbling I can hear, just one that I can feel. Glancing at my friends, I can tell they're experiencing it too. As it intensifies, I also notice a giddy elation spreading through me, an intoxicating, full-body energy I'm not sure comes from the cosmic occurrence or is my own pure excitement. The sky ripples like a sheet of paper, shaking with anticipation as well. For a second, it looks like the stars might fall. Several of them seem to shine brighter, shaken to life. The hue of their glow begins to change green and purple and gold, and the light they spread drifts like fairy dust. Wherever the sky is painted with the light, it seems to tremble, alive and wanting to be free. Then as more and more of the sky is illuminated, an image of something begins to take form. It's a window to another world. No, a whole other universe. It's a city. It's not one I know, but it still strikes a feeling of recognition somehow. The buildings are so tall and so close together. They remind me of the tall towers of Pedal Street, but different. It's the middle of the day over there, or maybe close to sunset. Early enough that their sunlight is almost blinding against our night sky. It reminds me of watching a movie in a dark room. There must be so many people just out of sight, in this one little slice that we can see. I wonder if they're looking right back at us. I can't help but imagine how that city must look during its own nighttime, all lit up from far away. I bet you can count the lights from up here, just like you can try to count the stars. And how much farther does it stretch, out past the edges? All those people who must live there, I wonder if they're any different from us, what their lives are like compared to my own. What a funny coincidence for our universes to brush together like this. I wonder if we'll ever cross paths again, or if this was a once-in-everyone's lifetime experience. The other day, Olitha told me that she wishes she had seen and done more while she still could. I never really thought much about just how much there is out there to see. Now that I do, I shiver. I've seen 0% of my own universe, and now here I am thinking about other ones. It's kind of overwhelming. I could travel for my entire life and not even see a fraction of what exists. I look around at my 4 friends. I'd expected Quinn to be kind of immune to big spectacles like this one, so I'm glad to see them watching slack-jawed. No matter how far they've gone since I last saw them, they came back for this. Curiosity is ignoring the sky entirely. Instead, they're looking up at Quinn with the robot equivalent of whatever Quinn is feeling right now. This must be the first time they've seen this kind of response from Quinn. Izzy's watching from close by with her hands in her pockets. Even though she used to make fun of sentimental stuff like this, I can tell she's different now. Or maybe she's just stopped pretending. Either way, I like this new Izzy. Just as fierce as before, but more mature. Maybe it's only natural now that we're older, but still, It's always a shock when you realize what your friends have changed. When I glanced at Hanna on her other side, we end up making eye contact for a half second, but she instantly looks back at the concurrence. I'm proud of Hanna. Out of all of us, she's the one who's always been chasing the same dream. I'm glad that this time, that chase brought her back here. The foreign light twinkles in Hanna's glasses, a tiny, miniature version of the scene we were watching. All of us together, and a whole universe before us. I wish this moment could last forever. It can, of course. Without warning, the colors of the boundaries of the celestial window begin to fade. Its hazy edges start to dissipate as the light collapses in on itself. The image of the city shimmers, and it's fuzzy. Like patchwork on a heavenly quilt, the top and bottom come together to meet each other, leaving pristine night sky behind them. In just seconds, there's nothing left but a brightly glowing seam where the two edges connect. Even that gets dimmer by the second, and before long, it's gone too. Then there's us. Us, and the breeze, and the stars. For just a moment, the whole planet pauses and reflects. Then one by one, the lights in town start to come back to life. It's over. I close my eyes, exhaling. Nobody speaks, and nobody moves. Not for a long time. It's Hanna who finally breaks the silence.
Quinn, have you ever seen anything like that before? Out there in the galaxy?
No. Nothing like that. Planets, sure. But whole other universes are new for us.
You still doing poetry? How would you write about it?
I don't know yet. I have to think about it.
They're quite fond of the adjective magnificent.
Think? What do you have to think about? Go with your gut! Whatever your first reaction was.
That's not how poetry works.
Maybe not for you.
What was your first reaction, Izzy?
Easy. I thought it looked like a mustache.
Mustache?
Yeah, didn't you see it? It started here, and then it went like this.
She draws the shape in the air with one finger. Shaking her head, Hanna gazes back at the night sky, which has gone back to being so normal looking it's almost absurd.
It was like a beautiful painting to me. The longer I looked, the more I saw. But I don't know if I could ever put it into words or describe it for someone else.
What about you, Summer?
I hear them say my name, but I can't speak.
Some?
Because as soon as I do, I'll keep crying. Keeping my eyes shut is barely working.
Summer?
But then, why hold back? I ask myself. Who cares if you cry? Tears leak out of my eyes.
I felt like I didn't want it to end. All of it. The CosCon, being here on the hill, being with the four of you. It's what I've been hoping for so long. You guys don't even know. It's the most right I've felt in years. Just being together, chatting, laughing. I've missed it all so much. All of you. And
my voice cracks, but I don't care. I'm not done saying how I feel. I don't want to keep regretting it forever.
And I don't want things to go back to how they have been, where we never talk to each other. I want things to be like they were.
I look away from the flowers I've been staring at, and back at my friends. I've never stopped calling them that, but I want it to mean something again.
No, not just that. I want to make new memories with you all. I want to pick up where we left off. If you all want that too.
Hanna sniffles. Of course she's crying as well.
I'd love to. Really, I would.
You already know I'm in. You don't even have to ask.
Izzy slings one arm around Hanna in an enthusiastic hug. Hanna smiles but pretends to be bothered. Curiosity drifted to the center of everyone, a big smile on their face.
I've greatly enjoyed the time we've already spent together.
Aw, us too, Curiosity. Thanks for looking after Quinn all this time.
Quinn themselves blushes and scratches their head, reflexively starting to turn away but stopping. They're still getting used to this again, too.
Yeah. Curiosity has really helped me through a lot, but like I said in that text, I really do miss all of you. I'd like for us to be friends again, too. Actually, me and Curiosity don't have any plans right now. There's nowhere we're going next, so if all of you, or any of you...
The more Quinn talks, the faster the words start to tumble out.
If there's anywhere you'd like to go or like to see, we could, in my ship, I could take us, I mean, if you wanted.
All of us look at Quinn, who wilts a little under the attention, as we take in exactly what it is they're offering.
Anywhere?
I can only whisper the word. It feels so big, so full of potential.
Yeah. I was thinking, we always used to talk about it, right? But we never could. If you don't want to anymore, that's fine. Or if you can't. I get it if...
A quick glance at Hanna.
If anyone's busy.
Shaking her head with a smile, Hanna seems unbothered.
That sounds great. There's a lot of time to make up for after all.
Throwing her hands up, Izzy lets out a whoop.
Woohoo! Road trip time!
I take it that means you're in too, then.
Of course! Wouldn't miss it for the world. Any world.
And then, of course, they all turn to look at me. Like I have to think about it. Like I have to make up my mind. There's not a single reason I'd say no. Not ever, but especially not tonight. I feel a grin spread across my face, like the miracle we just witnessed.
Let's go. Anywhere. I don't care where. I just want us to do it together.
And there we are. Let's think, click the link, open a survey in your browser to tell us you're... Okay. Blind clicking on links. I don't know. I hear that's dangerous these days. Open the browser. Display your email address on the first click. Okay, chat. Okay. Yes, and it's going to show up on a different window. So, sorry, you're not going to get to see my email address. That's definitely not there. just below it in the chat. Okay. Man. First off, 3-hour demo. That's nice and beefy. So yeah, visual novel. It's very gentle. It's very hopeful. It's very solarpunk. And I know that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I know people looking for something with a little more, a little more friction, a little more, grit, I guess. But sometimes you just want something hopeful, yeah? I like this. I like this a lot. So the Steam page for Summer at the End of the Edge of the Universe, there isn't a. Actually, let me make absolutely sure that So there's no release date mentioned on the Steam page, but it's there to wish list. You can, as I said, it is there for the love, romance, and heartbreak debutante ball. One of many listings there. Yeah, I think. I'll say it kind of hits me in the feels, this one, and I'll tell you why. That same sense that, having people you're close with, but you drift away over time, and then you just assume, well, they haven't reached out to me, and, well, obviously, if I reached out to them, I'd just be bothering them. Why would they want to hear from me? They're busy. They have their own lives. I would just be annoying them. And then, years down the line, when you actually do get in touch, you find out they felt the same, and then everyone was just staring at each other, waiting for someone to actually reach out. I've had that feeling more than a few times. So yeah, that one kind of hit for me. Anyway, we are going to leave it there. Not least Butch because it's 2 a.m. and I got to work tomorrow. So I should probably get to bed. Anyway, folks, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate y'all. Thank you to Brady B for the watch streak, and thank you to Ginger Ellie Games for following between streams, and thank you Goofy, Brady B, Andrea, Martian, Max, all you folks who have been hanging out, and YouTube friends, thank you for being here. We'll see you next time, and bye for now.